Systematische, dagvasthouden, koolmijners, Indrina, dagvasthouden. Hij koolmijners, hij Indrina rekenen. Die systematische rekenen, dat echt die koolmijners. De dronk gaat echt dat niet. Ja, wij willen dat.
Rated E for everyone. Rated E for everyone.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 50. 3 right over crest, long tightens. Into 4 left, tightens, turn square left. Keep right over 60. 2 left over crest, tightens. Into 3 right over crest. Into 5 left. And 2 right long, tightens over crest. Into 3 left. And keep right over bump. Into 4 left long, opens over 60. Into 6 left over crest. 2 right, tightens, don't cut. Into 3 left long. Into 4 right over crest, bump. And keep left over crest, jump. Into 4 right. 60. 5 left long, tightens 3. To keep right over jump. Into 3 left long, opens over crest. And keep right. Into 4 left over crest. 30 over bumps. 4 left long. To keep right over 30. 5 left. 5 right over bumps. 5 left over jump. 5 right long, opens over crest, bad camber. Into 4 left long over crest. 50. 3 left, tightens over crest, don't cut. Into 6 right. And 6 left through narrow gate. 30. 4 left over crest. Into 4 right, tightens over crest and through gate. 5 left over crest. Into 5 right over jump. Into 3 left long. 30. 4 left long over crest. Into 5 right over crest. Into 4 left. Into 4 right over jump. Into 6 left, 170 over bumps. 5 left. Into 4 right, keep in over crest jump. Into 4 left, opens over crest. Keep left over 80. 4 right long, tightens 3, don't cut. Keep left over 30, 4 right over bump. Into slow, 4 left through logs. 30, turn square left. 30, 4 right, opens over crest long, tightens turn, hairpin right. Into 6 left over crest. right over 60, turn 3 left long, opens over crest, bad camber. 6 right over crest and turn square right through gate. 60. Crest into 5 right over jump. Into 3 left long, tightens over crest. Into 5 right long, tightens. Into 5 left and 2 right long, tightens. Into 4 left, opens over crest, 50 over crest, 5 left, 60. Over finish, 60 to stop. Well done. Starts 50, 3 right of a crest long, tightens into 4 left, tightens, turn square left. Good luck. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 50, 3 right of a crest long, tightens into 4 left, tightens, turn square left. Keep right of a 60, 2 left of a crest, tightens. Into 3 right of a crest, into 5 left, and 2 right long, tightens of a crest, into 3 left, and keep right of a bump, into 4 left long, opens over 60, into 6 left of a crest, 2 right, tightens, don't cut, into 3 left long, into 4 right of a crest, bump, and keep left of a crest, jump, into 4 right, 60, 5 left long, tightens 3, to keep right of a jump, into 3 left long, opens of a crest, and keep right, into 4 left of a crest, 30 over bumps, 4 left long, to keep right of a 30, 5 left, 5 right of a bumps, 5 left of a jump, 5 right long, opens of a crest, bad camber, into 4 left long of a crest, 50, 3 left, tightens of a crest, don't cut, into 6 right, and 6 left through narrow gate, 30, 4 left of a crest, into 4 right, tightens of a crest and through gate, 5 left of a crest, into 5 right of a jump, into 3 left long, 30, 4 left long of a crest, into 5 right of a crest, into 4 left, into 4 right of a jump, into 6 left, 170 over bumps, 5 left, into 4 right, keep in of a crest jump, into 4 left, opens of a crest, keep left of a 80, 4 right long, tightens 3, don't cut, keep left of a 30, 4 right of a bump, into slow, 4 left through logs, 30, turn square left, 30, 4 right, opens of a crest long, tightens turn, hairpin right, into 6 left of a crest, keep right of a 60, turn 3 left long, opens of a crest, bad camber, 6 right of a crest and turn square right through gate, 60, crest, into 5 right of a jump, into 3 left long, tightens of a crest, into 5 right long, tightens, into 5 left, and 2 right long, tightens, into 4 left, opens of a crest, 50 of a crest, 5 left, 60, over finish, 60 to stop. Well done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Keep left over 100. 4 right, very long, tightens 3. Opens 50. 4 right of a crest. To dip. 4 right of a jump. Into slow, 1 left long. Opens of a crest. 40. 5 right of a jump. 40. 4 right, very long, tightens 3 of a dip. Opens 6 long of a crest, into 1 left. Over crest, 6 right, 6 left of a crest, 40, 5 left of a crest, 50, 6 left of a crest and bump, 80, jump, 40, crest and 4 right, opens 60, 4 right, opens 50, 4 left and flat crest, 50. 3 right long of a crest, tightens 2 long. Opens 6 long of a crest. Slow 80, turn unseen hairpin left. Opens long of a crest, 30. 5 left long of a crest, opens 30, 6 left of a crest, 40. Keep right of a double crest, into 4 left, tightens very long. Opens 130. Turn 6 right long, slow 60, downhill, turn open hairpin right. Keep left of a crest, 40. 5 left of a crest, into 5 right, and 5 left long, to crest, and 3 right long, tightens, 60, downhill. 5 right of a crest, into 4 left, opens 60. 6 left, past logs, 150. Double crest and jump and keep left of a 40, flat crest and 6 right, into 5 left, into 5 right of a crest, into don't cut 6 left, and 5 right, opens of a crest, 50, crest, and 4 right of a crest, tightens, 30, 4 left of a crest, 30, 3 right of a dip, 100, 4 left tightens, 50. Flat middle of a crest, 100. 4 left of a crest, into 3 right. Opens long, 150. 4 right, into 4 left. Into 4 right, opens of a crest, 40. 5 right, opens, 100. Bump, 4 right, very long, tightens 1. Opens and tightens. Into 5 left of a crest. Into 4 right. 4 left, opens of a crest, 40. Flat left of a jump. 40 of a finish. 3 right tightens narrow. Into 4 left to stop. Well done. starts, keep left over 100. 4 right, very long, tightens 3. Good luck. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Keep left over 100. 4 right, very long, tightens 3. Opens 50. 4 right of a crest to dip. 4 right of a jump into slow. 1 left long. Opens of a crest. 40. 5 right of a jump. 40. 4 right, very long, tightens 3 of a dip. Opens 6 long of a crest into 1 left. 50 of a crest. 6 right, 6 left of a crest. 40. 5 left of a crest. 50. 6 left of a crest and bump. 80. Jump. 40. Crest and 4 right, opens 60. 4 right, opens 50. 4 left and flat crest, 50. 3 right long of a crest, tightens 2 long. Opens 6 long of a crest. Slow 80, turn unseen, hairpin left. Opens long of a crest. 30. 5 left long of a crest. Opens 30. 6 left of a crest. 40. Keep right of a double crest into 4 left, tightens very long. Opens 130. Turn 6 right long, slow 60, downhill, turn open hairpin right. 40. Keep left of a crest, 40. 5 left of a crest, into 5 right, and 5 left long, to crest, and 3 right long, tightens, 60, downhill, 5 right of a crest, into 4 left, opens 60. 6 left past logs, 150. Double crest and jump and keep left of a 40. Flat crest and 6 right. Into 5 left. Into 5 right of a crest. Into don't cut 6 left. And 5 right. Opens of a crest, 50. Crest and 4 right of a crest, tightens 30. 4 left of a crest, 30. 3 right of a dip, 100. 4 left tightens, 50. Flat middle of a crest, 100. 4 left of a crest into 3 right. Opens long, 150. 4 right, into 4 left, into 4 right, opens of a crest, 40. 5 right, opens 100. Bump, 4 right, very long, tightens 1. Opens and tightens. Into 5 left of a crest. Into 4 right. 4 left, opens of a crest, 40. Flat left of a jump. 40 of a finish. 3 right tightens narrow. Into 4 left to stop. Well done. Starts 30, middle of a crest 30. Good luck. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 30, middle of a crest 30, 6 right of a crest long, tightens 3. Into 2 left long, tightens 1. 6 right. Into 4 left long, into 3 right of a crest long, tightens 50. 4 left of a crest, slow 30, gate and turn 1 left. 50. Turn unseen, 2 right long, tightens bad camber, into 6 left and slow, 5 right tightens, into turn hairpin left. Opens, into 4 left of a crest, into turn square right, don't cut. 30. 5 right, into 5 left, into 6 right and don't cut, 3 left of a crest, long tightens, 150. 6 right long of a crest, tightens, into 3 left, keep in of a jump, into 4 right of a dip, opens of a crest, 60. 5 right long, into 6 left of a crest, bump, into 4 right tightens, into 5 left of a crest, into 4 right long. To keep left of a 30, 3 right tightens, into 4 left, opens of a crest, 30, 6 right through gate and jump, into 5 left long, into 4 right, 40 through gate, 5 right, into 5 left, into 3 right of a crest, long tightens, 50, 5 right long, opens of a crest, tightens, into 4 left of a crest and jump, opens and tightens, and keep right of a bump, into 5 left, 5 right, 6 left of a jump, into 4 right tightens, keep left of a crest, jump, into 3 right tightens, into 5 left, into 4 right long tightens 2, keep left of a 30, keep middle of a jump, into 4 right long, tightens, 50, don't cut, 3 left tightens, into 3 right of a jump, into 5 left, and 3 right long tightens, into 3 left long tightens, opens of a crest, into 5 right long, tightens 4, into 6 left, and 3 right long tightens, and 3 left long tightens, into 6 right of a crest, 40, 3 left long tightens, into 2 right long tightens. Slow keep left of a 70, turn unseen hairpin right, uphill. Crest and 2 left long, opens 60, over finish, 80 to stop. Well done. Starts 4 right long, opens 60 over bumps, 6 left into 5 right of a crest. Good luck. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 4 right long, opens 60 over bumps. 6 left into 5 right over crest. Into 4 left long, tightens 2 over crest through gate to water splash. And 3 left over bump, opens long over jump, tightens turn, 4 left over jump, into don't cut, 1 right, very long, tightens, into turn, tight hairpin left. .60. Keep middle of a crest and jump and water splash. 4 left through gate long, opens of a crest, 100. Six left, 100. 4 left, don't cut over crest, 50. 6 right, to keep middle of a crest, slow 130, turn unseen, tight hairpin right, uphill. Into 5 left long, opens to crest, and 6 left long, into 4 right to keep in of a crest, opens 30 over bumps to keep right of a jump into turn 2 left long, opens uphill, into 6 right, 60, keep middle of a crest and jump maybe, 170, 6 right of a jump, and turn 6 right of a crest into slow, 6 left of a crest into 2 right. .100, down middle over bumps, to keep middle of a jump, 130 over bumps, slow 4 right long, tightens 3 over crest, into turn, hairpin left. Into 4 right long, tightens over crest, into 4 left long, into slow, turn unseen, 2 right, immediate square left. 60 over crest, 3 right, tightens over crest, 4 left, 4 right, 2 left tightens, and 4 right, 4 left, into 3 right long tightens, into turn 2 left tightens, opens of a jump, into 3 right long, caution 30, turn 6 right, 4 left of a crest downhill, slow, keep left of 80, turn square right, opens 6 long, into 3 left long, opens, tightens 2 over crest, 4 right long over crest, opens 100, 2 right long tightens, into 5 left, 4 right, 2 left long tightens, into 6 right, 80, 3 right of a crest, logs, 60, keep middle of a crest, and 4 right, keep right of a 70, 6 left of a crest, into 3 right long, tightens don't cut, 60, over finish, to stop. Well done. Starts 50, 6 right of a crest, very long, tightens into 4 left of a crest. Good luck. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 50, 6 right of a crest, very long, tightens into 4 left of a crest, into 3 right of a crest, into don't cut, 2 left, tightens long, opens of a crest, 80 over crest, 6 left, 30, 6 left of a crest, very long, tightens 4, into 5 right, into 5 left long, opens of a crest, 80, crest into 3 left long, tightens, into cut, 4 right of a crest, 130 of a crest, cut, 4 right of a crest, 50, crest into 3 left, tightens of a dip, into 4 right, opens of a crest, into 4 left, tightens, opens flat of a crest, 80, 5 left, to keep right of a 30, crest into 4 left, into 5 right of a crest, into 6 left, opens middle of a jump, 50, 6 right, middle of a crest and double jump, 100, don't cut, 6 right, 60, 4 right, opens of a crest, into 5 left, opens of a crest, 60, crest, into don't cut, 3 left, opens flat, middle of a crest, into 6 right, 50, 6 left, opens of a crest, into 5 right, slow, 80, 6 right of a crest, 60, turn unseen, hairpin left, opens uphill, 100, 6 left long of a crest, and 6 right extra long, tightens 3 at posts, opens 40, keep left of a double crest, into 6 right of a crest, very long, tightens slow, 4, opens of a crest, into turn unseen, hairpin right, 60, 4 left, opens of a crest, tightens 2, tightens, 30, 5 left, long, opens 140, long crest, into 4 right, 50, 4 left, opens 70, early 4 left, 100, 6 left of a crest, past logs, 60, 5 right, opens of a crest, 30, cut, 4 right of a crest, 30, 4 right of a crest, slow 5 left, downhill into hairpin right, into 5 left long, tightens 3 of a dip, opens long of a crest, 100, 5 left of a crest, jump, slow 50, unseen, open hairpin right, 50, 5 left of a crest, 40, 5 left of a jump, opens 50, 3 left, opens 70, keep right of a crest of a finish, and 4 left long, don't cut to stop. Well done. starts and 6 left over crest, long 40, 6 right over dip, 80. Good luck. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 6 left over crest, long 40, 6 right over dip, 80, 6 left long over crest, into 5 right over crest, and 5 left long, to keep left over crest, into 5 right, 40, keep right over crest, 120, 6 right, very long over dip, into 4 left over crest, to keep left over 260 over crests, to dip, into 5 right, opens over crest and jump, 60, 6 left, into 5 right over crest, and 5 left over dip, keep left over 40, 5 right long, tightens 4 over crest, 30, 5 right over crest, into 4 left long, and 4 right long, tightens 2, past logs, 30, 4 left over crest, into 4 right over jump, and 4 left long through gate, tightens 2, immediate turn, open hairpin right. 160 over bumps, into 6 right over crest and bump, 90, 6 left over crest, 60, crest and slow, keep left over 30, 2 right narrow camber, and 6 left, 30 over jump, into 2 left tightens, and 1 right over crest, opens 50, keep left, into 6 right over crest, and 5 left over crest camber, to keep right over crest, into 4 left long over dip, 60, crest, and 4 right very long, tightens 2 through posts, opens 90, crest, and 5 left, don't cut, to jump, 60, flat middle of a big jump, to bump, keep right over 100 over crest and gate, to jump, 60, crest into 4 left over crest, bump, extra long, tighten slow, 1. Opens over crest, 60, crest and 5 right over dip, 150 over bumps, 4 left over crest, jump, 40, 5 right over dip, opens 50 over crest, 150 through dip, 3 left long, don't cut, through posts, 80, 2 left, cut, and 4 right over crest, opens 80, 5 right long, over dip and jump, slow 50, open hairpin left, 100, 4 right, very long, opens, don't cut over crest, logs, 100, over finish, to stop. Well done. Starts 5 right of a crest, 80, 4 left. Good luck. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Into 5 right of a crest, 80, 4 left, 50, 4 left, tightens of a crest, 80, 5 left, into 2 right long tightens, into 3 left, 4 right, into 2 left long tightens, 80 over bumps, 4 left long, tightens of a crest, into 2 right of a crest long, opens, into 4 right of a crest, into slow 3 left long, tightens turn, square left unseen, uphill. Keep right of a 50, 5 right of a big crest, into 6 left long, tightens 3, tightens, to jump, into turn, 2 right tightens, into 3 left, tightens of a crest, into 4 right, into 4 left, into 2 right tightens, into 4 left, 5 right, 4 left over bump crest, tightens, slow, keep left over 80 past junction, turn, square right. Into 3 left, opens over crest, into 4 right long, over crest, into 3 left over crest, 30, turn, hairpin right. Into 4 left long over crest, tightens, 100, bumps, don't cut, 6 left of a jump, to keep right of a 30, 6 left long, tightens 2, tightens, 30 of a crest, bump, 80, 6 left of a crest past junction, 40, 6 left of a big jump, 80, keep middle of a crest, jump slow, 30, 6 left into turn, open hairpin right. $50, 5 left of a crest, 50, 3 left of a crest, tightens, don't cut, into 4 right long, opens, slow 30, 4 right long into turn, hairpin left. $80, 6 left, 30, keep middle of a crest, 50, 4 right of a crest, bump, 100, 6 right, 80, crest into 5 right long, tightens through gate and water splash, jump, 100, turn, tight hairpin right. Into 1 left long, opens 2 long, 60, 4 right, tightens of a jump, opens long, tightens jump, into 4 right, tightens through water splash, and 2 right long, tightens through gate, opens over crest 60, 5 left, opens 50, 6 right over crest, 60 over finish, 4 left long, opens over crest to stop. Well done.
Casper Janssen on the outside, now needing 2 jokers. Great start by Nils on the inside. Tommy Howell with a good start too. Nils left side by side with Ostland. Ostland going to have to give way here. Nils slots into the lead. Ostland going to jump on the brakes and go standard lap with them. Janssen nearly collects them behind, but anchors up somehow. Brilliant job. Tommy Howman goes joker. Enland has gone in behind, and Casper Janssen takes the first of 2 jokers with it. Janssen trying to find a way past Enland. Going through the deep dirt, not going to get that done. They're going to lose a bit more time. Through the crest to the right, he's going to go now, wait to the final lap. They wait final lap, Ostland goes. So Ostland, this will be a good indicator of how close Howman is. Ostland into the joker and coming out. I think it's going to be pretty close. Ostland runs a bit deep for my liking. Howman gets him. It's going to be close. Here we go, Nils Anderson into the joker lap. Watch for Tommy Howman on the standard lap on the inside line. Anderson's going to get it straight on the exit. Howman's going to have more exit speed though. Oh, it's so close, and Nils Anderson just loses out. Howman maybe edging him not just on that last lap by 1/10 of a second. Tries to close the door, Balmanis in the background. Unbelievable start, Shoutout. P6 to whole shot, drops it on the brakes. Timmer in the side. Shoutaut's gone round, Scheider into him. Gronon feels his way around the inside. Timo Scheider up the inside of Balmanis. Balmanis in the wall in the background. Put the gap up. Gronon surely going to go joker now. Abrink up the inside. Timmers Yarnov gets 2 sideways. Kevin Abrink's done him through the jump. Way behind. Abrink's gone joker. Gronon up the inside of Kevin Hansen. Gronov's going to nick the spoisy. Kevin's on the inside. Liam Doran coming round. Got to watch out for these two. They're going to come back on the track. They won't even know Liam's there. So Duval, De Ridder, contact between the 2 Belgians and the Russian. Side by side over the jump. This has gone on for the whole lap. Timmer's now on the outside, going to try and cut to the Timmy Hansen now taking the super wide line. Kevin's up the inside of Timmy. These guys have got to stop this. They're down in P10 and P11. They've got to find. Timmy's lost out big time. He's going to lose out for Shoutout, who's joker twice. Contact over the jump. Timmy Hansen, who takes it from Timmers Yarnov. Oh, side by side. Who got it last year over the jump? Doran, contact again. Oh, he spins. Right as Liam got in front of him, he has. It was alongside him. Balmanis up the inside. Balmanis shuts the door immediately. Ekstrom up into P4, contact between them. Timmy Hansen and Ekstrom off touching the wall. So Hansen drops back into P5. Ekstrom from there. This is an epic couple of laps if he does. Weeman goes through and Hansen does. Timmy Hansen. Evan and Balmanis through the joker. Sabo's got him. Can Balmanis do anything on the run up? This is for a place in the semi-final. The Latvian's got to have a look up the inside, surely. Oh, he's well late on the brakes. Oh, my fantastic pass. Unbelievable pass. Balmanis puts the car up the inside of Sabo. Around the outside, going to get P3 short. Oh, massive. Over the curb. Tyre is off. Nitish launched. Nitish runs the car a bit wide and then, oh. So the problem is that he hit the curb side on, not front on, didn't he?
Yeah, we could see there a big squeeze from Markland, and he had nowhere to go, couldn't stop, and oh yeah, a big hit there.
The gap up, Gronov's surely going to go joker now. Abrink up the inside. Timmers Yarnov gets 2 sideways. Kevin Abrink's done him through the jump. Kevin Abrink to P2. Back up underneath Timmer again. Timmers Yarnov runs wide. Abrink passes him at the exact same spot. Coming on, nudge in the side, gets a push from Markland, runs wide. Abrink up the inside of Gronov. Kevin Hansen takes the win in Barcelona, the 3rd ever hard from Andreas Backward, I have to say. Peugeot is damaged and he's crawling around. That was a huge hit from Andreas Backward, who's parked to the side of the road. I hope they're both okay. Timmy Hansen continues round in the Peugeot, but that was out the car. Yeah, he's upset. He's upset. He's okay. Salvatore puts a squeeze on Timmy. Contact between them. Timmy in the tyres. Backward trying to go around the outside. Timmy straightens up.
Some stuff there from Andreas. I thought I was going to see Timmy Hansen taking the tyre barrier with him, but I'm sure he would have been pressing that brake pedal through the floor to try and keep himself out of it. And just glanced in, manages to survive through the corners. But Andreas all the way around the outside then through turn 2 as well.
Timosyanov going to try and jump outside to inside. On the brakes, the Russians up the inside of Kevin. Oh, that's a hell of a move. Timosyanov all the way from the last corner to the first corner. Brilliant piece of driving by the Russian. He's slipped. Going to make it or not. Backward comes out just in front of the Russian. The Russian looks inside him. Same move as yesterday. Timosyanov gets up the inside of Backward, but Backward surely has found a way back past, has he? Tim has got him. Unbelievable. A repeat move from yesterday. Timosyanov is side by side over the jump. This has gone on for the whole lap. Tim is now on the outside, going to try and cut to the inside. Timmy runs wide. The Russian's going to get back up the inside, and Timmy through a rouge again. Oh, this is a mega fight. On the brakes again into the hairpin, and this time Timmy has to give best, does he? He's on the inside again. Damn, this is incredible.
Absolutely fantastic stuff here. These guys are really going for it. Timosyanov now looking at going on to the Joker lap. He's getting himself out of that fight.
Timosyanov has taken 6 years to do it, but finally he wins a round of the World Rallycross Championship. So Niklas Gronholm then won both the sessions yesterday, coming back from that appendicitis. It was an incredible performance. He wasn't on it in Q3, he was P5. He needed to get the job done in Q4. He's going to take the win here ahead of Hansen, and that's going to secure him the top qualifier spot in Norway. What a return for Niklas Gronholm, brilliant. Really even start. Loeb got away well, tries to move across on the inside. Gronholm stays wide, contact for Loeb. Oh, into the barrier on the inside. Is it inside Solberg in the barrier on the inside? Christopherson goes through. Oh, head in his hands, they know. That is a disaster. Ekstrom is in the lead. Christopherson goes into P2 and Backward is up into third.
How much are we going to bet that Solberg gets the fastest lap in this final? Because he will be cross, he will be angry. And I think there will be some goings on after this race about that on with the judicial side of it, because there was nothing he could do about it. We'll have to see the replay and see how hard Ekstrom was given the squeeze.
Do you think Ekstrom's won an award even if he gets told off? He's won the Supercharge award and he won that several times last year. He's got incredibly quick reactions, always joking with his teammates that for an old man he's still fast, and he is very, very fast. Ekstrom goes, this is it. This is it. So Backward goes two. Backward's going to protect the position. Sebastian Loeb coming through. Where's he going to come out in front of Andreas Backward? My goodness me. Great from him. So Loeb is going to move up. Backward has dropped back. Both those guys are joking. Your eyes are on Christopherson coming around on the last lap of the first round of the World Rallycross Championship. Over the jump. Christopherson sucks the jump up along with the car. He dives off into the Joker lap. He's the world champion. Matthias Ekstrom was the world champion before. Comes around the inside. Christopherson smokes the tyres up. Ekstrom's on the inside. He's going to hold tight. Christopherson's going to have a look around the outside. Can he get it done? Ekstrom moves across, pushes him onto the outside. Sideways on the brakes. He's right up behind him, but Ekstrom has managed to keep the door shut. It's a brilliant job by Matthias Ekstrom. The VWs absolutely smashed it last year, but Ekstrom is the king in Barcelona. It's the third year in a row. He wins the 50th round of the World Rallycross Championship, and with that, he's the most successful driver in history. It's his 11th win in this series. What a drive! The stewards began to look again at that first corner incident with Solberg. The officials made their decision. Ekstrom was eliminated from the final. Who's going to get the job done here in Portugal today? Wipers on, green light, go! Oh, massive Wilson on road 2. Backward, looks like he's gone backwards. Cars go past the Christopherson's got clear whole shot as he passes us. Christopherson on the brakes, but who's going around the outside? Hansen's gone deep on the brakes. And is it Solberg down around the outside? Solberg and Shisha around the outside, contact there, and somehow from that lot, it's Hansen who comes out in the lead of the three who've gone into the Joker lap. Sebastian Loeb, in fact, who wins the Monster Energy Supercharge Award as well. That's the fastest reactions at the start, so Loeb getting down to the Joker lap first. Do you think it was a Joker by choice or by tactics? To the left of spin in front of the competition. Somebody's in the wall. It's Hansen. It's Hansen. How tight is that gap? There's Bruno Ferman, the boss of Peugeot Sport. The gap's gone up by a tenth. Christopherson's gapped him by 1/10 on that lap. 4.2, is it enough to be able to hold on? Christopherson is gambling on the fact that he thinks he's got the better pace than Loeb. Could he take number 11 here this weekend? We thought it was Ekstrom who was first to 11 last time out. Until he was disqualified. Christopherson, though, now fighting for the win. Watch for Loeb on the inside for Peugeot Total. Loeb's going to try and get on the gas and shut the door, but Christopherson's done it. Johan Christopherson takes round 2 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. Green light, Solberg dips the clutch in the background. Loeb goes sideways, moves to the inside. Christopherson gets hit from his teammate Solberg. Ekstrom's going to try and come round. Christopherson's in the wall. 2 wheels, comes back down. Backward, hits the wall sideways. Solberg slots in. Christopherson's got his own teammate alongside him. Timmy Hansen up to P2. It's a Peugeot 1-2 at the minute, Guy Wills.
It is indeed, and a 3-4 for VW. Oh, Ekstrom trying to go around the outside. He's just got far too wide there. But Johan Christopherson on 2 wheels. He rode that wall, and he just had to. He was lent against the car, and it dropped it back down to 4. But back racing, here we go.
Christopherson down in P3. What's he going to do tactics-wise? Solberg goes Joker on the first lap. Will either of the Audis go with him? They don't. Hook a wheel on the left-hand side. Pull the gears down the back straight. So, what do you think, Guy? What do we do with Christopherson if you're VW spotter now?
Oh, Timmy Hansen!
Massive moment. That's where Kevin had a huge shunt last year. How did he hold it? The wall held onto that, didn't it?
Well, we saw from inside. Here we go. Christopherson in the Joker lap. This is going to be it right here.
Watching for the Audis in the background.
Petter racing.
Solberg's going to try and get the edge on his teammate. Petter alongside Christopherson. Solberg's got the inside line. And he's going to hold the position unless he's too late on the brakes. Christopherson will have a little look. Fastest lap of the day by Solberg to take his teammate. Yes, into the Joker lap goes Loeb and Hansen. Loeb runs wide. Hansen's going to try and get the nose in tight. Solberg's full gas on the inside to try and take them both. Sebastian Loeb might be able to edge Petter Solberg here. Solberg late on the brakes. The VW up the inside, but Loeb holds it. Loeb holds it. Brilliant tactics from Peugeot.
Absolutely perfect timing. Now this is a race to the flag on the track.
Ekstrom up through the chicane. Watch him in the Joker lap now. Sebastian Loeb on the inside. Loeb, I'm sure, has got this, but can Ekstrom take a podium? The Peugeot rounds the last left-hander. Latvia 2016 was his one and only win, but Sebastian Loeb wins in Belgium. Fantastic drive by him. Good start by all 6 cars. Kevin Hansen moves across, trying to shut the door on Ericsson. Solberg going to come across with Solberg. Oh, contact! No! Christopherson's in the tyre wall. He destroyed it. Verstappen in 2. Going to try and drive through it. Surely they're going to red flag that. They're going to have to red flag that and restart it. It's all over the track. On board. This is with Kevin Ericsson.
So look to the right here. Johan Christopherson of Andreas Bakkerud, and now, boom.
Touch of the wheel. Touch
and
of
the
wheels
rear wheel.
And that's it, then he's just a passenger.
Yeah.
And look at Kevin Ericsson. Clocked it straight away. Go! Ekstrom with a great start on the second row. Loeb's gone backwards. Cronon moves across. Kevin Hansen up the inside. Whole shot for Christopherson. Ekstrom's in behind him. Backward, going to go around the outside of his teammate. Teammate's on the run down to turn 2. Ekstrom doesn't put his nose up the inside, so Backward has got the better of Ekstrom. In the background, Gronholm gets past Sebastian Loeb. All eyes on this man. Johan Christopherson running the number 1 on the car. Is he going to pull a miracle and get his 3rd victory of the year? So close to the barriers. Backward and Ekstrom.
All these drivers. Matthias Ekstrom.
Monster Energy Supercharge Award. Who had a row with Tommy Hakkinen last year. Only a fun one about whether or not the old man had good enough reactions. I think looks like he does. He wins the Supercharge Award. Backward for the Joker, surely. Oh, he doesn't. I can't believe they haven't sent him. And Sebastian Loeb goes. So Loeb getting onto the back of that
on the train. It's not the first time.
Still Ekstrom goes. Ekstrom goes into the Joker. On board we were. Now we're outside. Ekstrom's tidy on the inside. Beautifully done.
Lovely.
Kevin Hansen hasn't Joker. Remember, he's only just going to get in front of Loeb. So Loeb's done a great job of Peugeot. Loeb up the inside, down to turn 1. Sticks the Peugeot through. What a move on Ekstrom. Brilliant drive. Ekstrom has another look at the inside. Loeb goes defensive down into turn 2. Brilliant. Fastest lap of the day. Got him on the Joker.
Absolutely cracking up. But Matthias Ekstrom will not like that. That's for sure. He will be fighting every inch of the way to the final flag. Left and hairpin right, and then it's obviously into the Joker. This is going to be some finish because we're watching for Christopherson coming from the Joker and Andreas Bakkerud coming from the standard lap.
Christopherson is inch perfect through the last hairpin. Out towards the left. Don't drop it on the dust now. Tucks the nose in. We're looking for Bakkerud on the other line. Rotates the car round to the right. He's done it. He was in the wall. sat in turn one, and that is a disaster for them. Ekstrom is in front of Kevin. Guy, you were saying Ekstrom was your form man from the semi-finals. If anyone can catch the VWs, maybe he can find that extra bit. Solberg wins the Monster Energy Supercharger Award for fastest reaction time. At the minute, the predictor is saying Kristoffersson would have it, but it might be that Ekstrom would separate the two VWs, so Ekstrom might be able to get Solberg here, which means that Hansen needs to get as close as he can, as we said, in the hopes that he might get Solberg too. So it's still on for the podium, but Kristoffersson looking strong for the win.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's unbelievable for such close racing we've had all the way through the qualifiers and the semis. This has actually been strung out by that incident in the first corner, and it hasn't spoiled the action, but it's what it's meaning is we're going to have to wait till everybody's completed the Jokers to see where everybody's going to launch.
Here we go, Solberg goes now, Solberg into the Joker. This is to try and protect from Ekstrom, and I think Ekstrom's done enough already. Maybe he's trying to protect himself with Kevin Hansen. Kevin Hansen, who's going to come out of the dust first? It's Solberg, and Hansen's a few car lengths back, so Ekstrom's up to P2. The gap is 4.0. Here we go, Kristoffersson into the Joker lap. This for the win. He'll just have 3/4 of a lap to go, and Ekstrom's not going to be close enough. Guy, you said it, Kristoffersson's just done a tiny bit, but it's enough.
Yeah, so far it's been absolutely superlative, and this is for the clean sweep over the whole weekend. Like you said, only ever been done by Andreas Backerud. I'll let you take it to the finish.
Number one, it's number 4 for Kristoffersson. He wins his 4th from 5 events. It's a Swede on the podium in Norway, followed by another one in Ekstrom. Brilliant recovery. Solberg will make the podium at home. Everybody loves this track. What's it going to provide in the last race from Holliers 2018? A really, really fast start. Kristoffersson away. Hansen have a look up the inside of Backerud. Backerud shuts the door. Kevin Hansen's coming under fire from Ekstrom, but I think he's managed to shut the door. Timmy Hansen's going to go Joker. Kevin Hansen goes standard lap. Ekstrom goes in behind Timmy. Timmy gets it tight up on the curves. It's Kristoffersson, Backerud, and Kevin Hansen on the standard lap. Timmy Hansen leading Ekstrom and Grosjean. Kevin's out. Kevin Hansen pulls out to the side of the road, so Kevin Hansen is gone from the leading pack. Kristoffersson and Backerud. Johan Kristoffersson wins the Monster Energy Supercharger Award. A little bit of damage on the rear right from Kevin there. I don't know if he hit anything, but Kristoffersson with the fastest reaction times off the lights. Oh, he's fastest at everything at the minute, isn't he? Into the right. Oh, wow, this guy's just completely at one with that car. He said that the car has felt a little bit better today, and it looks like it is absolutely underneath him. Backerud here is in trouble because the guys behind are closing him down. Kristoffersson now comes through turn 1. Down a gear, runs the car out wide, out towards the barriers, turn it in. Nicely over the curbs on the inside. Good job, Kristoffersson. Now watch for Backerud. Backerud versus Hansen versus Ekstrom. Ekstrom has a look up the inside but can't. And nicely done. Backerud holds on. Backerud slotting into a gap that just isn't there between those two cars.
That was so tight, wasn't it? Ekstrom's looking at the inside of Backerud. There's contact with all of them.
Backerud underneath Hansen. Hansen runs wide. So Backerud's moved up to P2. Manages to get Timmy Hansen on the last lap. Was the yellow flag out or not?
Contact.
Oh, again, Ekstrom on the inside pushes Hansen off. Hansen in the gravel. Revenge from a couple of years ago. The fireworks fly. Kristoffersson takes his 5th win of the year. But P2 goes to Backerud and Matthias Ekstrom in P3 after carnage on the last half of the last lap. What a long hold. Ekstrom gets it away really well from row 2 again. Hansen and Kristoffersson both get attacked from him. Lowe's moved all the way across to the right hand side. Solberg's in the clear. Baumanis gambling on going around the outside. Kristoffersson, there's contact between everybody. Solberg, Lowe gets a squeeze at the wall. Baumanis is out in P4. Hansen slots in behind Kristoffersson. Ekstrom, Solberg, Baumanis and Lowe. Lowe just up the inside of Baumanis somehow makes it through. All 6 cars are through turn 2.
Hansen doesn't have a comfortable position because Ekstrom has been extremely aggressive, but now it's Solberg pushing on Ekstrom.
Hansen with a mistake. He's clipped the barrier on the inside. Is he going to hold on to the position? Ekstrom's got a nose up the inside of him. He does. So Hansen's made a mistake, and that's handed it to Kristoffersson straight away. He's given him a gap of 1.2 seconds. Lowe pushing hard in the background, as is Solberg. We can pass it. We've seen people do it, but Timmy Hansen made a bit of a mistake in turn 1. There we go. So Baumanis' first final of the year, and he takes the Monster Energy Supercharger Award. I think it's that rut on the inside. Solberg's gone Joker. That releases Lowe. I think the rut on the inside is what's causing the problem. But Baumanis taking the Monster Energy Supercharger Award with the fastest reaction time. So good job by the Latvian driver. Fantastic.
I'm surprised how close Timmy Hansen stays from Kristoffersen. I think he is closing the gap right now, and I'm very surprised because Kristoffersen has the track for himself.
Hansen, Joker. Hansen's got Joker. The gap was 1.2. It comes down to 1 now. Timmy's run a little bit wide, but he's going to get out in front of Ekstrom. So Timmy Hansen's out in front of Ekstrom. He's managed to take a couple of tenths off Kristoffersen on each of those last 2 laps. If it wasn't for that mistake on the first lap, we'd have a serious race on our hands here, Carl. Here we go. Is Kristoffersen going to Joker or not? Is Kristoffersen gone Joker? We need to see. He has.
Yeah, he did.
Kristoffersen goes Joker. Loeb goes with him. Kristoffersen, Loeb have both gone in. Hansen rotates the car around again. He's going to come out super close behind Kristoffersen. What's the gap now? So Kristoffersen has jokered. Hansen 0.9. He's taken another 10th out over the course of the Joker in the next lap. So brilliant job. Everyone has taken their Jokers. It's another fantastic drive by Johan Kristoffersen. I don't think there's no way for Hansen to pass now. Look how careful he is in the last corner. Johan Kristoffersen is going to take his 4th maximum score in a row in the 2018 series. He weaves the car up the straight in celebration. Go on, Johan! Great start by the 2 Audis. Loeb's going to move across on Kristoffersen straight away. Kristoffersen's going to have to slide into 3rd. Loeb's going to try and go around the outside, on the inside of turn 2. Backward gets the whole shot ahead of Ekstrom. Ekstrom's going to slot in. Hansen's trying to come around the inside of Kristoffersen. Kristoffersen's surely going to shut the door in the braking zone. He does. Kristoffersen is wise to that. You're on board with Matthias Ekstrom into turn 2. Backward, backing it in. Look at Ekstrom though, keeping it super smooth.
Yeah, I'm sure Backward is feeling the pressure here. You know, he's in front of his boss.
Oh, Kristoffersen, Andreas Backward gets the Monster Energy supercharger. Wolf Kristoffersen is right up behind. Oh, Kristoffersen goes Joker, but he gets a tap. Kristoffersen goes Joker, he gets a tap. That might actually have helped him turn it in. Backward and Ekstrom are in now. I think Audi will respond immediately, but has Solberg managed to get the better of his teammate? Kristoffersen's going to come out in traffic, so Kristoffersen in traffic behind Loeb. What do you do if you're Audi? Hold on and try and gap the one you've got time, or do you risk Kristoffersen and Co catching up?
It depends really, you know, and Ekstrom looks like he's got pace over Backward.
Who's going to go Joker? Ekstrom's right up underneath Backward. We need to see if either goes in. They don't. Neither has gone in. So Audi are holding on. I wonder what the lap times are doing, whether or not they're managing to gap the guys behind or not. Hansen at the minute is in front of Kristoffersen. Until Hansen goes, Kristoffersen can go nowhere unless he manages to put a pass on him. But I think the Peugeot is quick enough. That's not going to happen. So
yeah, I'm sure the spotters will be talking to each other and telling them what they're thinking. So Joker time 1.2. Think Backward could get it by 2 tenths. Maybe it'd be close on the
they're
merge.
not gone.
They're going to go together on the last lap and try and hope the merge works out for them.
So Andreas Backward looking for a debut win for Audi. On the brakes, is he anchoring it up enough to go Joker? He is. Backward goes, and so does Ekstrom, so does Hansen. This is it for the win then. There's another lap. Sorry, the last lap now through the Joker. Backward, oh no, Kristoffersen around the outside, super fast. Backward's going to have to push really, really wide. Kristoffersen up the inside. Johan Kristoffersen at the final corner has done it again. Kristoffersen sweeps around the right hand of the checker flag is out. His 7th win of the year. He's done it. Round 10 sees us in Riga. This is the 2nd time the championship has visited the Latvian capital, and despite the weather in 2016, the venue was an instant success. Q1 started under clear skies and bright sunshine, and that wasn't the only thing for the Latvian crowd to cheer about, with Reinis Nitish lining up in the first race. Off the start, the EKS trio got away well with only Kevin Eriksson trying to spoil the party. He was squeezed out in the first corner, and from then on the Audis ran in a train, the crowd going mad every time Nitish passed them. With no one to challenge them, all 3 took the Joker together, allowing Heikkinen to take the flag. The Audi party continued in the next race with Matthias Ekstrom getting the whole shot over fellow DTM legend Timo Scheider. While Ekstrom gapped the field, things were looking a lot worse for Timo. A small fire under the car very quickly turning into a big one. Ekstrom took the win, but all eyes were on Scheider. He launched the car over the line and then had to exit via the wrong door. A very scary moment indeed. Johan Kristoffersen got a start worthy of a World Championship leader and then set about the job of destroying the timesheets as usual. Behind him, Baumanis and Block had a scrap which gave the local crowd something to focus on, with Block jokering to find some space and then putting a pass on Nafik as he rejoined. Christopherson, meanwhile, had set the fastest lap of the day and went on to take his customary P1 position with one race to go. Solberg was in that final encounter and got the perfect start to challenge his teammates' benchmark. Behind him, it was contact aplenty as the others jostled for position. Timmy Hansen holding on from Loeb, who also lost out to Timosyanov. Solberg pushed hard and set rapid lap times with incredible consistency, but it wasn't quite enough to match the seemingly unstoppable Johan Kristoffersson. He takes Q1. On to Q2 in torrential rain, and the Scheider question was immediately answered when the first grid was formed without him. Francois Duval used his many years of WRC experience to save a couple of big moments and take the race win. Race 2, and Kevin Eriksson had a problem retiring at the start. Ken Block got away well and was unlucky to be collected by Baumanis on the brakes at turn 1. No one really to blame in the tricky conditions. Gronholm ran Baumanis close at the end of the race, but it was a popular home win for the Latvian. Sebastian Loeb got an absolutely perfect start in his race, moving across from the outside of the grid to hit the front immediately. Andreas Backrud was last as they exited the first corner and set about chasing the pack down. He got Muller on lap 1 and made a fantastic move on Reini Snitish on lap 2. On different Joker strategies, the result would come down to the merge. It looked like Loeb had got it until Backrud found something extra in the very last corner and took the flag by the tiniest of margins. The last race of Q2 was a story of VW versus Audi. Topi Heikkinen was into the first corner first, but Kristoffersson was pushing incredibly hard, desperate to find a way past. Following confusion as to what lap he was on, Kristoffersson followed Topi into the Joker and then lifted at what he thought was the finish, allowing Ekstrom to claim second. It was far worse for his teammate Solberg though, the double World Rallycross champion having an altercation with the barriers, which would see him drag the wounded car home for last in Q2. At the other end of the table, it was Topi Heikkinen who set the fastest time of the session and claimed the overnight top qualifier spot. On then to Q3, more tricky conditions for the drivers. Dry and wet yesterday, damp this morning. How do you pick your start RPM? We were riding on board here, I think it was with Ken Block in his run down towards the first corner. This race there was about Nico Muller and Kevin Hansen. Kevin doing an absolutely stellar job, remember, in last year's car. Managed to get out in front of Nico and took the checkered flag. Off the line again. This time we're on board with Gronholm. We've got so many on board this weekend, we really are treating you. Timosyanov, look, managed to get around the outside of Reini Snitish, which put him on the inside in turn 2. Snitish wisely managed to avoid contact, ended up over the gravel on the outside, but held on to the position. Timosyanov just in front of him was about to make a mistake down in the gravel section. Whether or not we'll see that, I'm not sure, but he ran a little bit wide. And that then meant that Kristoffersson, of course, who checked out early doors, smashed it. Top of the timesheets by an absolutely huge margin. On to the final race of Q3. And still wheel spin for everybody. Look, desperately trying to find traction up towards the first corner. Heikkinen managed to get the whole shot. He was on the inside, but Sebastian Loeb was right with him. Now, Heikkinen then made a mistake in the gravel section. There it is. Look at Loeb. He can't quite get past, but between him and Fahren, his spotter, wisely making the decision to slot off into the Joker lap. The race then continued. Backward slotting off towards the left. Sebastian Loeb, though, right on the back look of Topi, having already made his Joker. Topi did manage to shut the door on Backward. That was Backward slotting up the inside of Topi's teammate Ekstrom. This was Loeb taking the lead as Heikkinen went to the Joker on the final lap. And watch this, Backward versus Heikkinen. Backward slotted inside Loeb yesterday, but Heikkinen today was wise to it, kept the car tight on the inside and held the position. First race in Q4 and the track was drying. It was Ken Block who got the whole shot. Reivilo there and Duval together in turn 2. Block really needing to push to try and drag himself up into the semi-finals. Choo-Choo had pushed a little bit too hard, hit the wall and broke the suspension. Off the line. Still looks a bit damp and greasy down there. Is this on the run down to turn 1? So this was Baumanis. Yeah, I mean, he almost ends up on the wall on the inside here, doesn't he?
Yeah, it was a very tight squeeze, trying to fit 3 people through a tight chicane. Yeah, something's got to give, and that was where Balmanis lost out.
I'm a big fan of a left or a right, or at least 2 corners, basically, you know, at the end of a lap, because I think, sorry, the start of a lap, I think it makes it exciting off the start. How do you find it as a driver? Stressful, I guess?
Stressful, yeah, because you don't know who's going to be the person who's on your inside, pushing you out towards those tyres, and those tyres are the danger zone.
Look at Timmy, absolutely fully fired up, mouth open, really, really focused. He's got in the time he needed. I think he could have gone quicker because he made that mistake, of course, we saw. And it's obviously not up to full dry pace yet. There was that. I suppose it wasn't too bad, maybe a little bit deep, possibly not as tidy as Timmy would have liked it. And the times are not as quick as we were seeing in full dry Q1. So the track's still developing. On board with Nitish at home here, off the line. Didn't get the best of starts. He'd have seen Baccarat inside him at this point. Had you brave it out, Dan? I mean, what'd you do?
Yeah, obviously, if you didn't have that big tyre wall that's sticking out right in front of you might want to try and brave it, but you've got to be a bit careful. You can't squeeze in too tight on the person on the inside in case you touch wheels and that sends you off. Here's Ekstrom's moment here. 2 wheels on the curb, and it just backed him into the corner, but he handled it super quickly.
Yes, Matthias, send it. Hashtag said go hard or go home. He nearly went home, but that was absolutely mega. That's got to be save of the year, hasn't it?
Yeah, he looks so calm as well. He didn't
phase love it. Just a little bit of extra lock, more than I'd normally like to use. I just like the throttle up. You know, the wall's only just there. Brilliant piece of car control by the world champion. Well done, Matthias. Backward tried really hard here, but you know, Ekstrom was your man. Into the right-hander on the Joker. Tidy, tidy, tidy. Perfect run, and Ekstrom at the minute is at the top of Q4 with 1 race still to go. So off the line, look at Loeb. See that sideways moment? I was sure he was going to go backwards, Dan.
Yeah, it looked like he had a lot of wheel spin and wasn't going to get the traction to go, but the car just hooked up, and you see he just took off, just pulled in front of VWs, and away he's gone.
Great move by Scheider too. Aggressive, admittedly, he's round the outside here. Mirror off Kevin. You see the mirror fly up in the air we did from the other shot. And you can see there Solberg had to get out the back of those two. But Scheider, an aggressive racing. I'm a bit gutted he had the fire because it could have been a good result for him here.
Yeah, he's showing good pace this weekend. If it wasn't for that fire, we could have seen him a lot higher up. But
nice to see him pay the team back as well, isn't it? You know, having had them work so hard to get the car back together. Scheider managing to get out today and put in a couple of decent performances. Loeb takes Q4. Where does that leave everyone ahead of the semi-finals? Johan Kristoffersson, the World Championship leader. Will he be the World Champion when we leave here? Alongside him, the current World Champion. Wow, Kristoffersson looks like he's on brand new boots. Row 2, Andreas Baccarat and Timmy Hansen. Those 2 guys will fight to make it through, and Baccarat's got new tyres as well. And bringing up the rear, Reini Sniertisch. The crowd will go nuts for him, and Niklas Gronholm made it through in Q4, so great job. This will be fantastic. And this is the action that they came to see. So watch for Baccarat here. Dan, talk us through it.
Yeah, so Baccarat, he's on the outside of Hansen here, and realistically, he's going to get a bit squeezed, but he's got a wheel up there, and it's just enough. He's got enough of his car up there to make the gap, and the other guys just follow him. The door is open then.
Niertisch was brave there, wasn't he? He really threw it in, and that cost Hansen time, and that allowed Gronholm to get him in the back. And then Gronholm getting past Niertisch. So where Niertisch carried that extra pace in, he actually then lost out to Gronholm on the exit.
Yeah, he had to brake later than he hoped, and it meant he couldn't get on the power as soon as he wanted to.
Now, we've seen people do this all weekend, so you saw there Hansen with the black lines going down on the road. This is Niertisch, look, so Niertisch trying to go up the inside on the previous corner. You can see the damage he did to the rear. It seems that the tyre held up for the rest of the final, but you know, clever tactics, because he had to hold on to that position. He wasn't even in third, but he knew if Niertisch got past, he'd be fifth, and then he has no chance of going through.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the guys in front of him could have made a mistake, and so he had to hold on for all he could.
Even though it cost him time to shut the door on the inside there. Good job by him, but not enough to make it through. It's Kristoffersson who goes through with Ekstrom and Baccarat. On pole, last year's Latvia winner, his sole win in the World Rallycross Championship, Sebastian Loeb. Next to him, Petter Solberg, double World Rallycross champion. Row 2, Topi Heikkinen, he was overnight top qualifier. Kevin Hansen next to him. What a performance in last year's Peugeot. Kevin would love to make it through to the final. And on the back row, Nico Müller, on only his second outing, books the 4th Audi into the semi-finals. A third of the places in the semis going to Audi. Fantastic by EKS. Solberg and Loeb with good starts. Heikkinen looks to have got a fantastic start there. He's almost up in between them. Heikkinen out into the side of Kevin Hansen. Oh, sideways! Solberg's gone sideways. Hey, smashed around. Solberg is hit hard in the side. Solberg is there then, so Solberg is stopped. They're saying stop the race, so Solberg is obviously feeling that he needs the race to be stopped. We've got yellow flags being waved and we've got a red flag. Red flag out in the Joker lap, so we have red flags. And the race has been neutralised. It's unusual in the World Rallycross Championship. We're very much hoping to get semi-final 2 back underway as soon as possible. On the front row, on his own, last year's winner, Sebastian Loeb. Row 2, Topi Heikkinen and Kevin Hansen. Row 3, Nico Muller and Yannis Baumanis. So there was Loeb, look, untroubled. Look at the start from row 2 there as well that Topi got. He got an absolutely mega start. This was Baumanis, so it was a battle really between Baumanis and Kevin, wasn't it, here? Yeah, so he's got to try and push his way back over us. He's going to end up in those tyres, and yeah, tyres are hard. Look at Kevin there with the contact, had at least one wheel, if not 2 in the air. Baumanis had to give way there, didn't he, because of tyres on the outside. Loeb, Heikkinen, there's no contact there, is there? No. It's got to be mechanical. Yeah, to me it looks like drive shaft maybe. And that, of course, was an opportunity for Baumanis to go up one position straight away, and by now he'd have been thinking, I could do this. Look at Kevin, holding the tight line, then realises, he's going round my outside, tries to get on the gas, bit of contact. I actually think that's a fair pass. What do you reckon? Yeah, that was brilliant. I'm surprised that Yannis was able to find the traction out so wide, but yeah, he made it work and he got through. He did indeed. Oh, contact there from Kevin. What are your thoughts on that one, Dan? Racing incident. Yeah, says the driver. Borderline. I think that was slightly in the side, but there you go. These guys race hard, and I don't want to see them stop racing hard. Let's be clear about that right now. I'd rather see them race hard and occasionally get told off than be scared to make a move. Sebastian Loeb sliding the Peugeot 208 to victory in semi-final number 2. Up and over the jump and taking the checker flag. Well, one man will be ecstatic to have made it through to the final. That is Yannis Baumanis. Here is the lineup for the final here in Latvia. Johan Kristoffersson on pole position, Sebastian Loeb next to him. It's an Audi row 2, Matthias Ekström and Nico Muller. And bringing up the rear, Andreas Backerud and Yannis Baumanis. What can Baumanis do at home? Kristoffersson looking to wrap up the World Championship. He took his 5th win in a row. It'll be another record, but he doesn't care about that. He just cares about the big trophy. Green light and away. Sebastian Loeb moves across Ekström, trying to go on the inside of him down into turn 1. It is Kristoffersson that leads. Backerud was left on the line. Baumanis has gone round the outside into P2. Go on, Baumanis at home in Latvia. Baumanis is up into P2. Ekström's gone on the inside of him. He's lost the position already. Muller is in behind him. Baumanis finds good traction on the exit. He's right all over the back of Ekström. Look, there's contact again between him and Ekström. Muller right up behind Baumanis. Baumanis will be desperate at least to keep him behind him. He can't get in front of Ekström. He will be desperate to keep Muller behind him. Try and hold on backwards onto the back of this train. Pretty good by him. Matthias Ekström wins the Monster Energy Supercharger Award. Oh, Backerud, careful now, a bit naughty. He knows he backed out of that, didn't he? Yeah. If the positions remain like this, Johan Kristoffersson will be the World Rallycross Champion. He will have a gap of more than or equal to 60 points, and he will be unbeatable as we head to Estering for the second to last round. Kristoffersson is racing for the World Championship. Baumanis is racing for a position on the podium at home in Latvia. I'd love to see him do it because I love a good home story, but I think he's going to get beaten to the merge. Oh, he does. Baumanis drops back. That's the way it goes. Unlucky for Baumanis. The crowd still stand up for him as he comes past. He's put up a brilliant fight here, probably the drive of the year for Baumanis. He's won his semi-final and he's won his final at the last 3 events. It's been 3 perfect scores in a row. It's going to be a 4th one here. He has broken every single record in the book. And as he comes around the right and the left, he's going to take his 5th win in a row, his 6th of the season. And Johan Kristoffersson is going to be crowned the 2017 World Rallycross Champion. Kristoffersson with the donuts, Tommy and Peresman hugging up in the sponsors tower. Brilliant to see them jumping up and down. Semi-final 1 then, Timmy Hansen and Kevin Hansen on the front row. Semi-final 2, it's Bakkerud versus Weeman. Oh, bad start, Kevin Hansen. Looked like he dropped back a little bit. Markland look up the inside. Scheider's right up underneath him. Contact with Scheider and Markland. Oh, he's caught in between them, in between the two GTK cars. Scheider gets out Timazyanov up the inside to P4. Timmy Hansen goes inside turn 1. Kevin Hansen then P2. Markland's into P3. Markland goes. Timazyanov stayed standard lap, so Anton Markland, the only man to joke on lap 1. He must think he's got great pace to go from P3. Scheider holding on. Scheider's spotters now need to be looking behind because Markland's closing that gap down.
Yeah, the joker lap we think is around 4.6 seconds, so quite a long joker here, but Scheider really late on the brakes into turn 1. He has got that CIB for on the limit.
They're going to wait for the final lap, they are, so Timmy and Kevin will go together. Scheider potentially a little bit wide. Scheider goes joker. This is it then, maybe this is going to be the last spot in the semi-finals. Timazyanov and Markland on the standard lap. Markland coming around, he's got more speed than Scheider, he's got him already. So Scheider's been picked off by Markland. Markland now waiting for Timazyanov to go. The gap is just 2.2 between them. Great tactics from GCKR8 to send Anton early and the clear air down. He's really got it done. Yeah. Timmy Hansen out front's been absolutely flying. 39 zeros and 39 ones the whole way through the race. Now he's going to go for the perfect joker lap. Watch for this. It's just the epitome of tidiness, but not from his brother. Kevin spins in the joker on the last lap. Timazyanov up the inside. Kevin Hansen has dropped it. Timmy Hansen wins semi-final 1. Markland and Scheider go through. The World Championship leader has dropped it on the joker lap on the final lap of semi-final 1. And he is not going to make it through to the final. That is a disaster for Kevin, just as we were seeing how perfect Timmy and Kevin are. A mistake at the crucial moment. Start across the front 3. Doran is up underneath Bakkerud. Weeman is he going to try and go around the outside. Bennett locks up and he's going a bit deep in turn 1. Sabo in between Baumanis and Weeman. Weeman's getting hung a try. Sabo. Baumanis drops on the brakes into the back of Doran. Doran sideways. Baumanis is going to get around the outside of him. So Baumanis in front of Doran. You're on board with Liam now. Baumanis to the right. Has Liam got in front of him? He has. It's alongside him. Baumanis up the inside. Weeman up the inside and Doran. Oh, Weeman's in the tyre barrier. He's over. Gurney Weeman is over the front left corner. He's off the car. Weeman is on his side. You're on board with him now. He kills the engine. And Jonny Weeman is on his side. Red flag. Carnage in semi-final 2. Okay, on board with Weeman now. We were on board with Liam at this point. We couldn't see Baumanis next to us. All 3 of our onboards in this little melee. Weeman looks up the inside as he should have done. But he's got caught on that tyre barrier again, and that's rolled him over. That's a real shame. Right, Bakkerud is in pole position, all on his own on the front row. Got to make the most of it. Great start by Bakkerud. Liam has to click the clutch. Sabo's got away cleanly. Sabo going to shut the door on Liam. I don't think he'll get around Bakkerud. He goes deep, though. Doran's into the back of Bakkerud, but holds his line. He's inside Sabo. Nicely done. On board with Baumanis, you can see in front. Liam and Sabo. Sabo's on the inside for turn 3, but he can't hold on. Doran stops in, so this time it's Bakkerud, Doran, Sabo. It's an EKS 1-2-3 at the minute with the Audis. Waiting there, patient on the throttle. Baumanis goes joker 1, so Baumanis has gone on the first lap. Baumanis, remember, is the only driver to have made all 3 finals so far this season. He's betting on an early joker in the hopes that he can get some time on Sabo in front of him. Too much suspension travel and the car touches the ground. Sabo's gone. This is in defence of Baumanis. Baumanis in the background has kicked up the dirt in the hairpin. Has he made a mistake? Has he lost too much time? I think he has. He'll have extra exit speed, but Sabo's got him. So Baumanis will know now he's got to get it done on track. I think he's within range of Sabo. He's only, what is he? Actually, no. Yeah, Sabo's gone back, so Bennett's got a couple of tenths off him there.
Yeah, but sorry, just to go back to Andreas in that hairpin, looking like he bogged there. He said in the qualifying sessions about he was stalling in the hairpin, so maybe something on the diff release not quite working properly as he gets on the handbrake to try and rotate the car.
He gets the most coverage he can for being P3 in a semi-final. Great to see him in the semis for the first time, especially here. Look. Oh, fire! There's a fire underneath Bennett's car. Oh, massive flames from underneath Bennett's car. There is fire pouring out from underneath. His spotters are on. He's straight out towards the marshal post. Bennett pulls off. He'll get out of that car very quickly indeed. The flames seem to have stopped now, so potentially something was pumping out onto the exhaust, and when he's killed the engine, it stops, so the fire doesn't seem too bad. Bennett has retired. You can see it underneath the back. Need to be careful if they open the bonnet, fire that extinguisher in from underneath. Get in there, lads, come on. Both the Monitors for Energy RX cartel cars are going to go through. Bakkerud to the front row, Liam Doran to row 2. And row 3 is Sabo. go. So all three of the EKS Run Audis have gone through to the final. Oh, it's a good start by Backward. Timmy Hansen not quite so good. Backward going to try and shut the door. He puts a squeeze on Timmy. Contact between them. Timmy in the tyres. Backward trying to go around the outside. Timmy straightens up. Scheider's all the way up to P3. Markland drops into fourth. Sabo trying to go around the outside in turn 2. Not going to get up the inside of Markland, is he? There's contact between them. We ride on board with Doran now. So Doran behind Sabo, but it's Backward in front of Hansen and Scheider up to third.
Yeah, aggressive stuff there from Andreas. I thought I was going to see Timmy Hansen taking the tyre barrier with him, but I'm sure he would have been pressing that brake pedal through the floor to try and keep himself out of it, and just glanced in, manages to survive through the corners, but Andreas all the way around the outside then through turn 2 as well.
Markland's gone Joker and Doran's gone with him, so Markland goes Joker, runs the car right round the barrier on the inside, is super close. Bit of smoke from Backward's car, but I think that's where Timmy gave him a little nudge in the hairpin down at this end, and there was a little bit of contact on the brakes.
Yes, I think we're just looking at the rear bumper of the car is folded up underneath the tyre there, just causing that bit of smoke. He's going to be smelling that in the car, and I'm sure he's going to be a little bit worried about it.
He had the same yesterday, if you remember, in one of the qualifying sessions on Saturday, exactly the same, and the vents at the back there pumping the smoke up, making it look worse than it is. Super smooth on the brakes there. There's that little hole. Timmy has another look up the inside. Is Timmy going to go Joker? Does he fancy his chances? He doesn't. Scheider stays with him, and so does Sabo. Sabo's gone Joker. Sabo goes Joker. Watch now for the merge behind. Trying to cover off Markland, but Markland's mega quick. Straight past him. Liam's going to try and get round as well. Don't think he's going to be able to do it, is he? Liam looking for a result here. Coming up the outside. He's going to make the cut back on Sabo, but Sabo's wise to it. Very clever.
Yeah, Sabo there just holding the car back, not getting on the throttle too early so that Liam couldn't get the switch back on it, but I've just been looking at the timing screens. Markland has set the fastest lap of the race so far, so Markland is on a big push.
So Markland then, danger man for the front three, and if they're caught up in their fight and they're down the hairpin now, scrapping out, Hansen goes. So Timmy Hansen has gone. This will give him some space from Backward, but it might be to protect from Anton Markland behind. Markland coming out the standard lap, but Timmy Hansen surely just going to hold him off. That's fantastic spotting from his team, and Backward's guys are going to need to be on that as well.
Yeah, so Andreas is a 39.0 on that last lap, Anton Markland at 38.8, as we've just seen on the timing the graphic here now. So Andreas needs to find some pace somewhere. I think he is struggling in the loose section of hairpin. We keep seeing the car bogged down a little bit, and he was saying earlier today that he was struggling with the car stalling as well. So this corner here.
Yeah, this is where he keeps stalling it. No such problems this time. Scheider is with him, just 1.5 off. Backward's staying out, so Backward's going to stay out, and Scheider too. So what do you think, Dan?
I think Timmy's already got the gap as well. The gap to Backwards, Timmy Hansen's 4.1, and our predictors say it's 4.6 second Joker lap. So Timmy now also on a big charge. Timmy Hansen at 38.5 on the timing screen. Fastest lap
lap of the day. Edoc's fastest lap of the day to Timmy Hansen. Timmy Hansen wants that second win. Backwards, desperate for his first win in a couple of years. So saying 4.1, we're saying 4.6 at the minute. It's going the way of Timmy Hansen. Andreas has got to go absolutely all in if he wants to take the win here in the UK. Is he going to go Joker, or does he stay out? He goes Joker. He's gone now, so Backward's gone now. They don't think they can match the pace of Hansen. He's tidy on the inside. Timmy coming round the outside. Get him in drag race down the turn 1. This will be really close. Backward trying to come out, but he can't. Timmy Hansen's got him on the run down to turn 1. Hansen will go defensive. Backward's going to try and find a way. Can't. Timmy goes tight. Backward goes wide. Got to try and find a way through, but a fantastic lap from Timmy Hansen to put himself in this position.
Yeah, fastest lap of the day. We see Liam
Doran's pulled off, so Doran's pulled off, and he's out of this one, but we're back at the front with Timmy Hansen and Backward now, so Backward couldn't quite do enough. Timmy Hansen having a fantastic season after that massive shunt in Abu Dhabi. He took the win in Spain. He was 4th in Belgium, but Hansen has shown his intention very clearly here in the UK. It's a brilliant performance. Timmy Hansen is our first double winner of 2019. The fireworks fly. Backward across this line, P2. He was so close. There's the Hansen team now. It's Markland who takes a podium. Brilliant performance by him as well. But Hansen has taken the win at World RX of Great Britain. Timmy Hansen up to the top. Timmy taking the win here in the UK, takes the lead of the World Rallycross Championship from his brother Kevin, who went out in the semi-finals. Andreas Backward up to 3rd place. Baumanis in 4th. Timosyanov drops down to 5th from 3rd. That's a shame for Timmer. Liam is up to 6th. Timo Scheider up to 7th. Anton Markland up to 8th place. But we have had a change of lead. Sabo's 9th, Gronholm down to 10th. Poor Niklas, you know, such a strong start. I say get well soon. Yoni Riemann is up, standing in for Niklas, so just behind him in the standings. Shisha up, Raymond down. Bachuska will be back, remember, in Norway with GCK. Derrida and Bennett up into 16th, thanks to a great performance here, making it to the semis for the first time. But most importantly, Timmy Hansen now leads the World Rallycross Championship.
Timmy, the winner here at Silverstone and now the leader in the overall standings as well. Quite the battle between you and Andreas Backerud. Talk me through how you saw it from the driver's seat.
Yeah, it was really tough. He pushed me off into turn one, which we've seen happen a lot of times. He squeezed me into those tires, made me come out second, and after that I pushed so hard, and I was super close to him when I went into the Joker. I made a fantastic lap. Just after that I put everything together, and I think from that point I was probably in the lead, and then it felt so good to come out in front, especially after what happened in turn one. But I must say it doesn't feel the same without Kevin here, so super happy for myself. We did 30 points again this weekend, but I'm missing Kevin on the podium.
Well, we'll let you get up to the podium right now. Best wishes, of course, to Kevin after that semi-final, but to you, congratulations. Well done, Kevin.
Hello and welcome to the Silverstone 500, a 3-hour race in which teams compete for the prestigious 1932 RAC Trophy, and this year it forms the second round of the Intelligent Money British GT Championship. It's the 10th year of this blue ribbon British GT race, and as the longest race of the season, it brings a different kind of challenge for the drivers and strategy for the teams to overcome. The first race of the season at Brands Hatch had its fair share of drama as well. Let's take a look back at the story of the season opener. And after a safety car start, we are about to get to racing speed with Andrew Howard in Beechdene Aston Martin at the head of the field, and we are racing in 2021. Andrew Howard leads them into Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Lamborghini goes to the front. WPI Motorsport then leading the way. On the inside line looks Chris Salkel then in Harriet's Chariot, and he gets into the side of the Toyota. Off goes John Ferguson backwards into the gravel trap.
There is James Cottingham. So he's on the back of Adam Ballard. Ian Loggy still there in 8th place. Cottingham again lines up for the inside line. Oh, so close. God, James, is he going to commit? There's contact and around they both go. Both into the gravel as we go safety car for the second time.
Look at Michael Igo go. This is the advantage of having a GT4 car between you and the rest of the GT3s. Side by side for third here. Now Richard Neary is keen to get onto the podium. He's alongside Andrew Howard into clearways, tries to go around the outside. You can't do that, Richard. Kelvin Fletcher is rubbing his hands with glee here as well, sensing an opportunity to take advantage. What a move from Richard Neary. He can't stop the car though. He's briefly into third place. Howard fights back. Richard Neary this time makes the mistake, runs onto the grass. He's still not back on the road, and they're almost at clearways. And Kelvin Fletcher now just powers straight past him into the final corner.
The leader is in, look in the background. So there is Michael Igo. Michael Idun into the pit lane. Leah Vachitsky is in, Andrew Howard is in. So 1, 2 and 3. A slow stop seemingly from the Vachitsky Lind Lamborghini, because that has lost a place to Loggy and Berman.
Meanwhile in GT4 land things are getting entertaining. That is the Janetta, which has now been taken over of course by Charlie Robertson. Don't hit each other, be careful through Paddock Hill Bend. You can go side by side through here. Bit of curb hopping there from Gordon Colebrook, and Burton does go through.
Bites back on for third. Dennis Lynn thinks right. Let's have another go at this. Now he's going to push and see whether he can make use of the traffic.
And he's right in the way of Yelmer Bourbon, and Lindy's on the inside now, 3 abreast into Westfield Corner, and finally, after half an hour of trying...
For Assetto Motorsport's British GT debut, this is quite an effort, looking as though it could be on for a maiden victory.
And that is the GT4 leader, Charlie Robertson, in the pit lane with a left rear puncture.
Absolutely right. So how much time is this going to lose them? How much did they have in hand? Well, they've lost the lead already. Now the car's got to be dropped down. Come on, chat. Suddenly it all becomes a panic. Is everything right? Is it tightened up? Go, go, go. It is going to be a second British GT win for Michael Igoe. It's going to be an 18th for Phil Keane. He's going to be 2 clear of Johnny Adam now, because honours in the opening round of the Intelligent Money British GT Championship go to Phil Keane and Michael Igoe. Second, Johnny Adam and Andrew Howe just ahead by 0.3 of a second. Now, what about GT4?
Gus Burton is going to bring the 57 car home, a race winner in GT4. Gus Burton and Will Burns win the opening round of the British GT4 Championship, and it was an absolute thriller. In GT3, Brands Hatch winners Michael Igoe and Phil Keane in the WPI Lamborghini Huracan carry the maximum time penalty for their success in the season opener, but that won't faze Phil Keane. In fact, not much does.
I think the success penalty hurts you a lot here, especially with the 20 seconds in the last hour. But there's also a lot to play for in strategy and everything else because of the 3-hour safety cars, and so we'll see what we can do.
Ex-British touring car driver Hunter Abbott makes his British GT return in 2Cs Motorsport's new Mercedes AMG GT3, and he's been looking fast right off the bat.
Yeah, so at the moment it's just the one-off. So it's been a little bit of time since I've been in a car. A couple of years since I racing regularly, and then last year just did one race. So it'd be nice. It's nice to get back out. It's brilliant, actually.
Hunter last raced with us in 2016, but is arguably best remembered for his first year in the championship in 2008. A debut that turned out to be a baptism of fire, quite literally.
Yeah, I was with Rob Austin Racing, and me and Rob were together sharing a Ginetta, and got involved with another car and ended up going over the barriers and multiple barrel rolls and a bit of a fireball at the end. So yeah, it was definitely quite a shock at the time, thankfully that's a long time ago now.
In GT4, it was a dream start to the season for Century Motorsport, with Will Burns and Gus Burton leading their sister car home for a 1-2 finish. As a result, though, they'll be carrying the biggest success penalties into this race, which could leave the door open for the team who were cruelly denied a dream debut victory last time out, Assetto Motorsport.
This race tends to favour the Pro-Am lineups as well, with the success penalties at the pit stops for the silver cars as well at every stop, and obviously then the cars that did well at Brands will also have the extra penalty at the last stop. So I think if we can play our cards right, stay out of trouble, and hopefully I'll win at the end and have a race from there.
Aston Martin factory driver Darren Turner last raced in British GT in 2019, but he's back this weekend to add a little extra spice to the GT4 battle. His CV is so long it would stretch the whole length of the Silverstone circuit, but his successes at Silverstone include a race victory in the Blancpain Endurance Championship back in 2013. Will we see him at the pointy end again this weekend?
I think for us this weekend it's about just collecting points. We need to be there at the end of the race. Get to see the checkered flag, make sure the team runs through a race strategy. The guys get a chance to do the pit stops. Me and Matt get plenty of time on the track, and to collect some points. If we can finish where we've just qualified in fourth position, that's a good start. If we can be on the podium, then fantastic. But the first thing is just a clean race and get those laps under our belt and give everyone a lot of knowledge before they go on to the next round.
Hello and welcome to Silverstone for the Silverstone 500. It's a very, very exciting race meeting. It really is the most prestigious one on the calendar. A couple of new drivers, old drivers that we've seen before. Hunter Abbott is here, Darren Turner returns with a brand new team, and a new man joins us in the commentary box with Andy McEwen, a man who knows all about this championship. He won it back in 2001. It's Marino Franchitti. Great to have you here.
It's good to be here. I can't believe it's 20 years ago that I was here myself racing. Very excited for this race today though.
Yeah, I was going to say, looking at us behind at these amazing array of cars, there are no cars here at the moment behind us, but you've been in the pits, you've seen them all. There's a huge array. How different is the championship now to what it was back in the early noughties?
As proud as I am of winning British GT, it was nothing like this then. The strength and depth of teams, drivers, now the GT3 platform and GT4 has given such a different look to this championship, and it is such high profile and so difficult to get out there and win.
We often talk about different circuits suiting different types of car. Silverstone, in particular, what's it going to suit? The rear, the middle engine cars, the front engine cars?
We're just discussing that before we came on air, and it seems to be that the front engine cars on the long, fast-flowing corners have an advantage. But the Lamborghini's up on the front row, so it still could work out for those guys.
It was a bit of an anomaly, wasn't it? One Lamborghini sticking out from the rest. You've got to call the shots with Andy McEwen, and I know you're very excited by this. You've called the shots before, but this is a kind of a new task for you.
It is. I'm really going to be leaning on Andy for knowledge. You know, I've obviously kept up with British GT over the years, but I definitely don't have the knowledge that he has. So I'm just excited to watch this race and see. It's going to be like a game of chess over the 3 hours, working out the pit schedule and when they're going to come in, when if they're going to pit early. It's going to be really exciting, and I don't think we're going to see it, how it's going to play out, until right at the end, and obviously the weather could play its part too.
And at the moment it's looking pretty overcast and nasty, so it really will come down to strategy, and you've got to kind of give everything you can in that commentary box. You've got to run all the way down there as well and get into it. So we're going to let Marino disappear off now and go and meet up with Andy as we hand over to Andy and I get some drivers to talk to.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bryn and Marino. We will see Marino up here in a moment or two. This is it then, the second round of the championship, but arguably the biggest race of the season. The Silverstone 500 competing for the RAC trophy, the home of British motor racing, playing host to this famous event as well. The 10th anniversary, as Bryn was saying, of the Silverstone 500 on the British GT calendar. And we've got typical British summertime weather. Yes, it's 18 degrees, but it doesn't really feel like that. There is a lot of grey sky. In fact, it's blanket grey sky. And there's just this little bit of drizzle in the air that's been lingering all day long without ever really becoming anything more significant. But there is the threat of rain, particularly in the final hour of the race. And that final hour, as Marino really kind of alluded to there on the grid, that is where everything comes together. It's the final pit stop, remember, where the success penalties are served for the teams that were on the podium at Brands Hatch. It's the final hour that will see the final driver changes, and the teams will want, ideally, their quicker pro driver in the car for as much of that final stint as possible. And if you've come in and made what you think will be your final pit stop, and then it rains and you have to come in and change tyres, then you can be on the back foot all of a sudden compared to those that maybe have played a gamble and saved their third and final pit stop for a little bit later on. It's going to be a fascinating race with more than 30 cars on the grid across the two classes as well. Lots and lots of stories to follow up on. Botwell Motorsport are on the front row of the grid, as Bryn was saying, and he's down there now with the reigning champion, Sandy Mitchell.
Yes, the reigning champion indeed does get his race suit on. You're not starting in the car, of course, the car pulls into position here. Yeah. Just before that car arrived, we were talking actually about your last time out at Brands Hatch. It didn't go to plan for you two.
Yeah, it was a tricky one for us at Brands Hatch. I mean, we qualified well and Adam was getting on okay, sort of in the top 5 or 6 for the first stint, but just had some unfortunate contact with another car and meant that we ended up in the gravel, and that put us a couple of laps down. So yeah, we didn't take any overall championship points from round 1, but you know, we were confident that we had good speed, and we've been able to carry that over into this round, and we're starting on the front row again here at the Silverstone 500, which is fantastic, and yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, as you say, promoted to the front row because of a penalty to the TF Sport car. For yourself then with the championship, a new teammate as well, how's that relationship come along really?
Yeah, I mean, it's been really good. Obviously Adam was racing in the sister car when I was with Rob last year with Phil Keane, so I know him and Phil well from that, and you know, he's raced with Barwell for a couple of years now, like me, so yeah, with Phil moving over to WPI, it was an opportunity for me to pair up with Adam, and it's going really well so far. We're getting along well, and yeah, both working together really well, and I think you know, he had a really good quali yesterday, and that's helped to put it on the front row, so we're really happy with how it's going, and hopefully he can have a consistent run in the top 2 here at the start of the race, and then we'll be right in the mix.
Yeah, exactly. Well, best of luck.
Thanks very much.
So Sandy Mitchell then, if you cast your mind back to the end of last year, was a winner here at Silverstone, as Bryn said, won the championship alongside Rob Collard, and that number 1 car has been by far and away the most competitive of the Lamborghinis this weekend, and they've ended up inheriting a front row starting position alongside this car, the number 14. 2Cs Motorsport raced in the championship last year with 2 McLarens. They are back with a race-by-race entry in their Mercedes-AMG GT3, and Hunter Abbott and Martin Kodrich dominated qualifying yesterday to stick the Mercedes on pole with Barwell's number 1 car alongside. Now, in GT4, at the end of last year, it was Century BMW that won the race here. Weldon and Andrew Gordon Colebrook victorious. Much the same kind of story at Brands Hatch, where, again, they inherited the victory from Assetto Motorsport, but it ended up being a 1-2 finish for Century Motorsport BMWs, and they're going to be looking strong again here today. Sticking with GT3 for a second, though, actually, Giacomo Petrobelli down on the grid with Brim.
Giacomo, welcome to the Silverstone 500. Not where you wanted to start with that penalty.
No, but I think the car is quick enough to make progress, hopefully. Qualifying was very close, probably with the exception of the 2C Mercedes, we're all very close, so I think it'll make for an interesting race. So P2, P4 is not a huge difference in a 3-hour race.
Well, good luck, all right?
Thanks.
Yeah, Giacomo Petrobelli in the TF Sport Aston Martin, another race-by-race entry, but TF Sport, great to have them back in the championship with 2 of their GT3 Aston Martins. That car qualified second, and the penalty that Giacomo was talking about there came after qualifying yesterday because they crossed the blend line on the exit of the pit lane. So they were given a 2-place grid penalty. There was another car given a 2-place grid penalty as well. That was the Academy Motorsport Ford Mustang. Matt Cowley, for some reason in his qualifying session, did not get 2 flying laps in, and you must set a minimum of 2 time laps in order to be counted. So a 2-place penalty for them as well. Morgan Tilbrook there will start the Enduro Motorsport McLaren. Let's hope he starts. Anyway, he crashed on the warm-up lap at Brands Hatch. He and Marcus Clutton, who you can see just giving him some last-minute words of advice, had a brilliant effort in qualifying yesterday to qualify 6th in only their 2nd ever GT3 race. A fantastic effort from them. As I said, GT4, BMW looked strong. Century Motorsport BMWs in particular looked strong at Brands Hatch with that 1-2, 57 winning for number 9. But on pole position today is the Stella Motorsport Audi. Richard Williams will start the car and hand over to Senan Fielding halfway through, and he's down there now with Brim.
Yeah, I've just hot-tailed it from the front of the grid to the middle of the grid, which is the start of the grid for GT4. You guys have got to be pretty happy with the starting position.
Yeah, I think having pole position for the start of the Silverstone 500 is always that bit of confidence boost. Stella Motorsport have done an absolute phenomenal job. They've got the car sorted all weekend. From FP1 yesterday morning, me and Richard have been so confident in the car, and we was quite surprised with the pole position, but absolutely ecstatic. And now, obviously, today's the day where it actually counts. So, like I say, we're here to have a good race. We're going to see how it goes. It's 3 hours long. A lot can happen. Obviously, the weather's looking a bit unpredictable, so I think we're just going to have to see where we're at around about 3:10.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, it is very cloudy and the strategy must be changeable. Quickly, what have you got planned for your strategy?
The team are on the toes. They've got, they're prepared for every eventuality. So I've got 100% confidence in them. I just get told to jump in the car and do my job, but until that point, I'll leave it down to those boys.
Well, great stuff. Good luck to you.
No, thank you very much.
So Senan Fielding then will be watching on nervously as Richard Williams pilots the Stella Motorsport Audi from pole position. They had a 5th place finish in GT4 at Brands Hatch last time out. So the grid being cleared then, 3 hours of racing is not that far away from getting underway. Marino has joined me up here in the commentary box, hot-footed it up here. I think he's just about had time to catch his breath, and that might be the last chance you get to catch your breath for about 3 hours, Marino. This is going to be a lively race.
It's definitely going to be lively. I love the atmosphere on the grid there. It was fantastic. Getting across a gravel trap to get here was quite interesting for me. As much time as I've spent in the gravel trap, it's still not easy getting through them. But yeah, on the grid, the atmosphere's building. There's a lot of excitement there, and it's going to be interesting. It's windy. It's cold. Is it going to rain? There's a lot to play out here over the next 3 hours.
it's June and we're at Silverstone, so I'd say the chance of rain is pretty high, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
The car's about to head out onto their green flag lap then. In a moment or two, we will confirm what the grid looks like. It is this number 14, 2Cs Motorsport Mercedes, then started by Hunter Abbott, making a welcome return to the championship that starts on pole position. There are quite a couple of Mercedes, actually, and front-engine Aston Martins that have qualified well. They could be strong here in the first stint. Adam Ballon starts for Barwell Motorsport alongside Hunter Abbott on row number 1 then. No points at Brands Hatch for that number 1 car. They need a good result today. Ian Loggy from Ram Racing has Giacomo Petrobelli in the TF Sport Aston Martin on row 2 for company. Brendan Reeve makes a welcome return, having entertained us all here at the end of last year, and he's got Morgan Tilbrook for Enduro Motorsport alongside him. Andrew Howard in the Beechdean AMR Aston Martin is 7th alongside Leo Machitsky, who will have a 10-second penalty to serve for finishing 3rd at Brands Hatch. Stuart Proctor starts for Valve Motorsport, 9th on the grid ahead of Richard Neary, who had an off in practice yesterday, meaning his son Sam has limited running here this weekend as a result. James Cottingham, another welcome returnee, having starred at Brands Hatch, is 11th ahead of the Paddock Motorsport Bentley of Kelvin Fletcher. Row number 7 then is where we find Bonamy Grimes, who had a spin in qualifying yesterday. Mia Flewitt, along with her teammate Ewan Hankey, make the jump up to GT3. They're the reigning GT4 Pro-Am champions, with Nick Jones in the Team Parker Racing Porsche and Michael Igo, winner last time at Brands Hatch, 16th on the grid here today. Seamus Jennings in the All-Am GCAT Racing Porsche rounds out the GT3 field ahead of Richard Williams, pole position in GT4 in the Stella Motorsport Audi. Then we've got 2nd and 3rd in the GT4 grid. The Toyota of John Ferguson ended up in the gravel at Brands Hatch. Will Burns ended up on the top step of the podium, though, and he starts 3rd in GT4 this time. Then it's Matt Topham, who shares with Darren Turner. They are a full season entry. They just missed the season opener at Brands Hatch. They're back, we hope, for the rest of the year now. And Mark Sansom in the Assetto Motorsport Ginetta that had that dramatic puncture last time out. Chris Salkel was 2nd at Brands Hatch. He is there with Nick Halstead in the Fox Motorsport McLaren on the next row of grid, row 12 overall, getting into the back end of the GT4 grid now. Michael Benyaya in the first of the Team Rocket RJN McLarens, and Jack Brown for Valve Motorsport alongside him. And we've got Katie Milner, another RJN car with her teammate Jordan Collard alongside. Collard was on the podium last time in the number 2 Rocket RJN McLaren. And then working our way towards the back, we've got Dave Whitmore in the Car Gods with Sicily Motorsport Mercedes. Matt Cowley after that penalty in the 61 Ford Mustang right at the back of the grid. Right then, Marino, very quickly, because we're not far away from getting the race started. What do you think? Who are the favourites? 2Cs look strong in qualifying.
2Cs, first time out with a Mercedes, but the jump from the McLaren, it doesn't seem to have slowed them down any. They're right up the front. I'm just talking to Johnny Adam there a little while ago, and he's very excited about how their car was feeling this morning and how his teammate Andrew was going on full tanks. I guess we got 3 hours to find out the answer to that question.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Just having the fastest car does not win you this race. There is so much that has to come together in order for you to be lifting that RAC trophy.
Look at that field.
It looks good, doesn't it? British GT is in a really strong place at the moment. When you look at this grid as they come 2 by 2 out of Luffield, it does make the hairs on the back of your arms stand on end, doesn't it? 3 hours of racing, the Silverstone 500 then, round number 2 of the 2021 Intelligent Money British GT Championship. Martin Kodrich for 2Cs Motorsport on pole, with reigning Adam Ballon in the number 1 car for Barwell Motorsport alongside him. When the red lights go out, we will be racing at Silverstone. That happens now. The thunder roars as they head towards Copse Corner. On the inside line, Martin Kodrich will hold on to the race lead. Into second stays Adam Ballon. Do they all get through Copse? Cold tyres, it's all very tight indeed. GT3 is all safe and sound, so is GT4, though a bit of argy-bargy already there between the Toyota and the BMW, just as we saw last time at Brands Hatch. On board with Richard Neary in the Team ABBA Racing Mercedes, getting his elbows out as well as he tries to dig his way up the order, dicing away there with one of the TF Sport Aston Martins, all cleanly through Maggots and Beckett's though. Marino, it's not really worth getting too stuck in on this first lap, is it? You don't want to ruin your race, but this is the time when you can make progress.
You can make progress. People trying to make progress there. I think this is the time the track position's been so important previous years for this race. That's why people that have made the early pit stops sometimes have come out in front, because they've kept track position. People that don't, if they're at the back of the queue, it's hard to race your way back to the front.
Ooh, racing his way to the front though there. Look, was the number 6 of Ian Loggy ahead of Adam Ballon, and he brings Brendan Reeve with him as well. Brendan Reeve in the McLaren, off I'm afraid though, has gone the 21 McLaren, and that is Mia Flewitt, the Team Rocket car, and that's down at Stoke Corner. I did see a car running wide. I think it was Mia, who in her first GT3 start, I'm afraid, hasn't got very far. Oh, sideways is, and that's Machitsky around, Liam Machitsky around right in front of, that was Andrew Howard and Kelvin Fletcher, who did a brilliant job to avoid him, but the Lamborghini goes spinning, the car that finished third at Brands Hatch, and that looked to me, Marino, like cold tyres.
Cold tyres, as a tyre going down, it went so quickly. He did great. He did a really good job not to hit anyone or the wall, and he's recovered it quickly. And that's the thing, you stop in these cars, it's not like you can, a manual where you can just select first. You've got to go back through the gears. He's done a good job. He's got it going again. We'll see if he comes in. Maybe he's flat spotted the tyres, or maybe he has an issue. But it is cold out there, so if he lost temperature in the warm-up lap, that certainly showed there.
And there's this drizzle in the air, isn't there, as well? That could also have caught him out potentially. So a dramatic opening lap of racing then, which is led comfortably by Hunter Abbott then, who is in that number 14 car. Side by side for second place, Ian Loggy and Brendan Arib. Arib tries to get up the inside and cops and can't do it. Those of you who tuned in for the Silverstone 500 at the end of last year will probably remember Brendan Arib for some of his spectacular driving. He was really getting stuck in on his first appearance in British GT. We were hoping then that he'd make a return. He's already had a brilliant start here, hasn't he then? Arib started 5th, he's up to 3rd and was very nearly in 2nd place there. But now he's got Adam Ballon trying to attack him once again. So we've got 2 front-engine Mercedes at the front. We do expect those cars to be quick. Mercedes always go well here, don't they? What is it, do you think, about these big front-engine GT3 cars that suit this circuit?
I think the stop-and-go circuits like Alton, Brands, they suit the mid-engine cars just because of how well they brake. Round here braking's not quite so important. The high-speed balance is, and those front-engine cars just seem to work very well in those situations. The way that the weight distribution is, it all seems to come together well. Great battle here in GT4.
Oh, Matt Topham there getting elbowed out of the way, first by John Ferguson and then by Matt Cowley in the 61 Ford Mustang. Remember, on board with him now, slicing and dicing, goes back to the inside of Topham there, and he will go through. Remember that Matt Cowley started stone dead last on this grid, and he has worked his way up now into the battle for a top 5 within GT4. A brilliant opening lap or so for the Academy Mustang that really is due a good result, you'd have to say. Century Motorsport BMW there, the number 9 of Chris Salkel just pokes its nose out of line, and Topham just needs to be careful here, doesn't he, in that Aston Martin?
Yeah, he came on the way into the chicane there, he came back across when he wasn't clear of the car, a little bit of contact, he got away with that. He's just got to be careful. You don't need to be fighting for every inch of track at this point in the race.
Yeah, that's what Matt Cowley's doing though, and it's working well, isn't he? He's got another one now, whilst we were talking about Matt Topham, gets himself ahead of John Ferguson. So Matt Cowley, who is a silver graded driver, remember, Cowley is in one of these silver class GT4 cars. Now they have extra time to spend in the pit stops, 14 seconds extra compared to the other GT4s at each pit stop. There was Machitsky's spin. He was offline, wasn't he, dicing there with Morgan Tilbrook, so dirty side of the road, cold tyres, just a bit too much steering lot maybe, and off he went.
It went so quickly there. I don't know if these cars, as you get more and more aero on these GT3 cars, it's very windy out there, gust of wind, offline, it can all come together to cause an issue like that.
Yes, and what an issue it was. He did continue, by the way, and did not pit. So Machitsky is 16th and last in GT3 at the moment. Well, ahead of Mia Fluids, I guess, who did not get going. No, she did get going, yes. So Mia Fluid has rejoined, but I think she'd stalled the car when she had the spin initially. So Hunter Abbott then, 2.5 seconds nearly ahead of Ian Loggy in 2nd place. Brendan Arib is 3rd, Ballon 4th, Petrovelli 5th, Richard Neary up to 6th now, ahead of Morgan Tilbrook. In GT4, it is Richard Williams still leading in the Audi by a second now over Brands Hatch winner Will Burns in the BMW. And then in 3rd place, the number 3 of Michael Ben-Yaya there. That's one of those Rocket RJN McLarens. You can see it just there, actually, the number 3 with Matt Cowley breathing down his neck, and that would be the fight for 2nd place in the, 3rd place in the GT4 category.
We didn't see much speed from the McLarens in qualifying, but the race situation full of fuel seems to suit them a little bit better so far, so we'll see how that develops over a stint and whether they can maintain that pace.
And the McLarens tend to be quite good on their tyres, I seem to remember, and that is a factor here because you could be going a full hour sometimes between pit stops, 3 mandatory stops, remember, so you'll at some point have to do a slightly shorter stint, but if you are choosing to do a full hour, you're going to have to monitor that tyre wear over the course of the stint. Cowley there trying to find a way past Ben-Yaya then. This is for 3rd place in GT4, the Mustang versus the McLaren. 2 more different looking cars here you couldn't hope to find, could you?
No, the Mustang's a bit. I used to have a road Mustang when I was with Ford, and they are big cars, but the Multimatic guys did such a good job of turning that into a race car. It's interesting, I think we saw the moves that it made on the first lap. I think it works its tyres harder, it's a heavier car, And I think it works the tyres a bit harder, and we saw how easy it was able to get past some cars early on. We'll see again if it can maintain that through the stint.
Absolutely nothing to choose between the two in a straight line there, was there? We were on board with Cowley there. We weren't getting any closer to the McLaren, but nor was it getting away from us. Chris Salkeld, side by side with Matt Topham, gets through. Now his next target is John Ferguson. These two might not be the best of friends because they came together at Brands Hatch, did the Toyota and the BMW. Salkeld tried to get through on the inside. There was a bit of debate as to whose fault it was. It was deemed a racing incident in the end, but the end result was that Ferguson's race was ruined and Salkeld went on to finish second in GT4, so there may be a little bit of bad blood possibly between those two. There goes Mark Sampson, meanwhile, in the Ginetta, who really just wants a clean race. I was speaking actually yesterday to Mark and to his teammate Charlie Robertson in particular, who said that they just needed to tweak the setup a little bit, make sure the tyres are going to stay on the car, quite literally, for the entire stint. Back to this third place battle though, and Cowley is a bit stuck here, isn't he?
He is. Looks like he's got a good run onto the hanger straight there. Let's see if he can get it done. There's no gap for him on the inside, so he's going to have to go to the outside if he wants to make it happen.
Yeah, looks to the outside. He's later on the brakes, and you can go round the outside here as long as you can find the grip, because the next corner is a tight left-hander into club. But good driving there, wasn't it, from Ben Yair in front? He closed the door. He didn't chop aggressively in front of Cowley, just drifted off onto the natural line.
Cowley wasn't able to maintain that outside line. If you're going to do that move and you're going to get it the inside for the chicane, you've got to stay there, and he just wasn't able to do it. But he's working pretty hard. He seems to have a bit of a pace advantage right now. And I think there's an inevitability about this at the moment. It's just where he can make the move happen.
They're already 6.5 seconds behind the top two in GT4, so you can see why Cowley wants to get on with this, especially given the fact that he, like Ben Yair and Williams and Burns up the road, has this 14-second extra to spend in the pit lane at each of their 3 pit stops. So that's certainly going to make the silver-graded teams' lives more difficult. Further back, Matt Topham continuing to lose ground now. That will be Jack Brown, I think, that's gone through now in the McLaren, and then Nick Halstead as well for Fox Motorsport, not far behind. In fact, a sea of McLarens behind them, because Mia Fluid in the GT3 example is also trying to work her way through that group. It's all pretty frenetic out there, isn't it? Considering this is a 3-hour race, they are not hanging around in the early stages. So back to third place then, and this is Adam Ballon challenging Brendan Iribe. So Iribe, after a strong start now, does have Ballon behind him. Now, Adam in the past, we've noticed sometimes has been perhaps a little bit too cautious when he's been out in the car, but he's got good pace here. He clearly feels good in the car, and he fancies his chances of getting back onto the podium.
He certainly looks like he's got a bit of a pace advantage right now. Again, having the pace advantage is one thing, finding a way through is going to be something else. But they're definitely closing in on second at the same time, closing in on Logie. I mean, Abbott is just 4 seconds up the road at the moment. He's disappeared right now.
Yeah, but we saw this from both Hunter and his teammate Martin Kodrich. They were so quick in qualifying yesterday. They were always going to be tough to beat. Back to Leo Machitsky, who's up to 13th now. The latest scalp that he's claimed was Bonamy Grimes there in the TF Sport Aston Martin. He's also found a way past the 2 Porsches of Nick Jones and Seamus Jennings. So Machitsky going well here, and I did wonder whether maybe we'd see that car make an early pit stop after its spin, but they've clearly decided to keep him in the car for a bit longer. Don't know where to look here, do you? Side by side for third in GT4. Cowley has this time, Marino, got this outside line worked.
Yeah, he's made it work, and now he's got the inside, and he should be able to complete this move. Lovely. That was a lovely move. He'd kind of warmed himself up for that the lap before, and he got it completed this time.
Yeah, you can do that, I guess, can't you, as a driver? You can kind of have an experimental look at a move, and if it doesn't quite work out, you spend the next lap thinking, right, what do I have to do differently? And that's clearly what he did there, executed the move well.
And now you can see already he's pulled out a couple of car lines instantly. This is difficult for Mia here in an unfamiliar car, coming back through the GT4 traffic. She's never dealt with this before, so she's having to tune in to the speed difference and how these cars race each other. And I was talking to her just before the race. She's not had a lot of time in this GT3 car, so it's a real baptism of fire. But looking at her pace, she's been really close and getting better every single session. So it's great to see that she was able to recover from the problem. Now she's just banking miles, and that's what she needs to do.
Yes, and it's a long race, you know, 1 safety car and they're right back in this. And Ewan Hankey was fastest in warm-up this morning, remember? So, okay, only warm-up, I realise that, but still, that car does have pace. Matt Topham on the inside of Salkeld, he's looking, Salkeld leaves him room, and neither of them quite knows what the other one's going to do there. Topham didn't fully commit, and Salkeld didn't really know whether to close the door.
Yeah, it was nice driving by the 9 there to leave that lane open. No danger of any contact, and that's good to see. was interesting, the BMW, I thought it had a head of steam going there and was going to pull away, but he hasn't really been able to close in on the Toyota since he got into that position.
Yeah, Ferguson is building a little gap now, isn't he? John Ferguson in the Toyota is 0.8 of a second at the end of that lap, clear of the BMW behind him, and this will be the fight for about 7th place, I think, in the GT4 category, still being led by Richard Williams by now 2.1 seconds over Will Burns in second. Matt Topham, though, also seems to have settled in here, doesn't he, Marino? Well, we'll get back to that in a second, because Brendan Aribe has shaken off Adam Ballon and is now snapping at the heels of Ian Loggy. Brendan Aribe maybe just lost his rhythm there for a couple of laps, but he's right back in the groove now.
It's interesting as well, these cars with the aero that they have, when you're running close to another car, you're losing balance. You're either taking air from the front or taking downforce off the car overall, and that works the tyre harder. So you just don't want to sit there in someone's wheel tracks all the time. You've got to dive about, you've got to look for clean air, and these cars are so aero dependent these days that you have to think about that, because it's all fine and well to sit right behind someone at the beginning of a stint, but you can really pay for that later if you're burning your tyres off while doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Things start to overheat quite quickly, and from there it is a bit of a vicious cycle. Right, Chris Salkeld now with Matt Topham right behind him. As I was starting to say there, Marino, Matt Topham was going backwards in the early part of the race, but he seems to have settled in now. He's found his spot in the queue. He's now no longer under pressure from the car behind, and now he's starting to challenge Salkeld ahead. I was talking to Darren Turner yesterday, who is sharing the car with Matt Topham, who just about hangs on to the place there from the number 90 of Jack Brown. But Matt has always wanted to race in British GT, and specifically has always had his eye on GT4. And it's great to finally see him racing in the championship, and now he's got nearly 15 minutes under his belt. He looks a lot more comfortable.
He does, and obviously the fuel's burning off every lap, so tyres are wearing, but also the fuel's burning off. It's quite cold today, and he seems to just be finding more and more balance as the stint goes on. I know that Darren's really enjoying driving the GT4. I think maybe not enjoying how fast the GT3s catch you and where they put themselves. He's usually in the GT3 car, but he's really enjoying how the car moves about and not having as much downforce as the GT3.
Back to GT3 now. Richard Neary starting to ask some questions here of Giacomo Petrobelli ahead. That's for 5th position. A couple of cars being warned about track limits as well. Car 11, which is the Paddock Motorsport Bentley of Kelvin Fletcher, is on his now his second warning. That's just changed. So too, Michael Igoe, who has actually moved here from 16th to 12th. So Igoe moving forwards a little bit here, but remember that car has that extra 20 seconds to serve at the final pit stop. These success penalties for the podium finishes at Brands Hatch only have to be served at the 3rd and final stop. Second place battle back through here, Marino, and Brendan really looks up for this, and then we go back to GT4. Wherever you look here, there are battles, aren't there?
And any of them, you could say, oh, that's got to be for the lead, how hard they're racing, but it's generally for 4th or 5th place. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The thing is, at this point, while you hope there's a safety car if you're further back to close in, you can't count on that happening. We've seen it before where a race will go green the whole way. So while you can relax to a degree for a 3-hour race, you can't afford to lose too much time.
Yeah, the chance of a safety car in the early stages is a lot higher than it is later on. So now we've got the first quarter of an hour out of the way, you'd imagine there is a better chance now that this could go green all the way. Change for 4th then here in GT4. That is Jordan Collard ahead of Michael Ben-Yaya now. So teammates, although Ben-Yaya is in one of these McLaren driver development program cars run by Rocket RJN, but then the actual Rocket RJN car, if you like, the number 2 car of Jordan Collard that was on the podium last time, moves up into 4th place now. So 2nd place, Ian Loggy, Brendan Aribe. They've gapped Adam Ballon a little bit now. Is this Ballon... yeah, Neary there, side by side with Petrobelli, so we'll get back to that in a second. Richard Neary round the outside at Club, and again into Abbey. Surely this won't work, and he does have to back out, but Richard Neary not backwards in coming forwards. There's the risk here, though, isn't there, Marino, of a bit of a train forming behind this Aston Martin.
There is. He's obviously looking in his mirrors, and he's seen those cars approaching him, so he wants to get past, and he wants to get on his way and try and close the gap to the cars in McLaren. But it's again, easier said than done.
We're going to see a...
It's always... Let's have a look at this. So...
Oh,
wow, uses the ABS to its maximum there. He had the move done. So I'm be interested to see where the...
Yeah, runs a bit wide there through the middle part.
It's just the Astons there. He never cleared it completely. Great driving by the AssAssN as well there. That's really heads up to not... It was quite easy to give up at that point, but he's managed to hang on to it without putting himself in any danger either, which is lovely. You know, he left racing room for the other car as well. It's fantastic to see that.
Yeah, reacted well there to the dive up the inside and managed to snap back again straight away. Matt Topham, some changing here then. Salkeld is ahead of Ferguson cleanly this time, and Matt Topham is now trying to follow him through. So John Ferguson in the Toyota GR Supra, run by the Toyota Gazoo Racing UK squad, with a bit of Toyota factory backing now as well, really showing their commitment to motorsport across the world, but in the UK as well, with a touring car effort and now this GT4 car as well. And John Ferguson is going to have his work cut out here, because Topham does look quick, and the way Salkeld's getting away from the Toyota as well shows that maybe Ferguson is starting to struggle.
Yeah, possibly the balance is going away from him a little bit. You can see on the entry of the corner there, he's got a little bit of oversteer as he was turning in. So he's trying to smooth that out and look after the tyres. Yes, looks like he's lacking a bit of pace compared to his competition at the moment. Oh, that was a little bit aggressive there.
Oh dear, that is the 90 that's gone around, so that is Jack Brown. He was trying to attack Topham ahead, who was also trying to get up the inside of Ferguson. So sometimes you need to read that situation, don't you? If the two cars ahead are fighting each other, it's sometimes better to just sit back and let them go at it. What do you think? Was the move on?
No, because he wasn't going to clear the car. He had to be alongside earlier there, and he was putting himself in the situation where if the guy in front decided to turn in, contact was going to be inevitable. It's a difficult one, because you see that opportunity and you obviously want to take it, but a corner like that, you have to have cleared them, because otherwise they're just going to be able to hang on around the outside anywhere and be on the inside for the next hairpin.
Yeah, indeed. So that was unfortunate. Brendan Aribe, though, is into second place now. He's ahead of Ian Loggy. So Ian Loggy has had to give up that P2. And we'll see now what Aribe's pace is like then. Now he's in clean air. They're 7.4 seconds adrift of the race leader, Hunter Abbott, though. There go the second, third and fourth place cars. There is Petrobelli still fifth, ahead of Richard Neary. So Neary, having very briefly been in fifth place down at Club, is now stuck in the wheel tracks of the Aston Martin again. Morgan Tilbrook is still seventh. Andrew Howard is eighth. Kelvin Fletcher ninth, and Stuart Proctor rounds out the top 10, with Machitsky now back to 11th position.
He's on a charge, isn't he?
He really is, isn't he? Now, the charge, though, might come to a stop now for some of the GT3 drivers, because they have already, less than 20 minutes into the race, caught traffic, and they probably won't have a traffic-free lap now for the rest of the 3 hours.
No, that can be an advantage, though. You've got to look at traffic in two ways. You can go, this is going to cost me time, or you can say, right, how can I lose less time than the competition? And that's the way you've got to look at it, otherwise you just drive yourself mad.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to lose time, but also, as you said, to benefit. That is the Car Gods with Sicily Motorsport Mercedes of Dave Whitmore that's been off. That's down at the Maggots and Beckett's complex, so not sure how he got there, whether he jumped or whether he was pushed, but the red Mercedes, no damage evident on the car, manages to get going again. Now, Topham up the inside of Ferguson. That is how you make the move there, isn't it?
As you see, he was alongside way back, and that meant the move was done before they even got to the apex, and that's what you need to do into that tight first corner.
Yes, evidently.
Third corner.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Depends which track you're on. This really confuses me now at Silverstone when we use the different pits.
Yes. Right, black and white warning flags again now. That's a third warning for Michael Igoe. So he's making progress, but he's exceeding track limits too much. And it's a difficult line to balance on that, isn't it? Because he needed to dig himself out of that hole after qualifying. But if you then get a track limits penalty, there was no point, really.
No, that's going to be a busy for no reason. He really needs to watch that, because he's just going to get a penalty. It's black and white. It's not like, it was just a little bit over. They don't care. When you're out there, the track limit penalty is called, and he's going to undo all of that good work if he goes wide even once more.
Yeah, absolutely. We said we were going to mention track limits a lot. I think we should start an unofficial drinking game. Every time someone gets a track limits penalty, well, I mean, it's going to keep going all race long, isn't it? Here is Mark Sansom in the Ginetta challenging Nick Halstead in the McLaren, and that is Brendan Aribe, isn't it? That's the number 70, and damage to the right rear corner. Now, we haven't seen it, Marino, but they were in traffic at the time.
You can see that the Pirelli's off the tyre, so he's had contact with somebody. There you go.
And that's why Dave Whitmore was off at Chapel. Oh, and Ian Loggy was really delayed in all of that as well. we couldn't see the start, so we can't lay blame at anyone's door there, but that's probably not the last time we're going to see a collision between a GT3 and a GT4 car.
Unfortunately, it's not. You could just see there as he's limping back that the Pirelli was gone off the tyre, so you could see there's contact of some kind. I'd love to get a better look at that, to see it earlier, to see what happens.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate. It's just that closing speed, isn't it? And if you catch them at the wrong place, because you can lose a second or so behind them, you don't want to lose that. But
well, you have that downforce to be able to run lines that a GT4 is not capable of. But also the GT4, with the lack of downforce and the weight, uses all the track. So you put yourself in a certain place, you're putting yourself in the hands of the GT4. If they allow the car to run wide, you're going to run out of road quite quickly.
That was close, wasn't it? That was Andrew Howard up the inside of Morgan Tilbrook, and Sansom goes around. Sansom did well to avoid contact at the previous corner when those two went side by side underneath him, and then there was contact at the next one, and he had a half spin. So Sansom's going to lose a position or two in GT4, but that could have been a lot worse, as Andrew Howard now really is starting to move forward nicely. He is now into 6th position, and of course he's got Ian Loggy, the delayed Ian Loggy now, not far ahead. Now Aston Martin looking strong in the middle part of the stint.
It really is. As I say, talking to Johnny Adam earlier, he was really happy with how the car felt on full tanks. The lower temperatures that we're seeing today, he thought would suit the car. So he was full of the joys of spring and ready to go racing.
Yes, now we are, as I said, nearly 25 minutes into the race now, as John Ferguson has to run wide because up the inside went Leo Machitsky into Copse Corner to put a lap on the GT4 Toyota. Maybe time to start thinking about pit stops, because you have these 3 mandatory driver changes to make, but it's only a 3-hour race. So whereas a traditional sort of GT World Challenge Europe 3-hour race, for example, would see a pit stop on the hour and they do 2 stops, we have to fit an extra one in somewhere. So at some point, Marino, you have to do a shorter stint. Now, where would you, if you were a team strategist, where would you like to do that short stint? At the start, the end, or the middle?
Well, that's a good question, isn't it? I think you would, if you're in a GT3, I think you want to look at where the pockets of GT4 traffic is and maybe just pit before you get to that, because you then don't have to lose all that time getting through the pocket of cars. If you've got to make that stop anywhere, it's not a bad time to do it.
On board with Richard Neary then, in amongst the traffic. So put us in the driver's seat here then, Marino. You're fighting your way through traffic. Petrobelli's getting away from you. What are you thinking now?
You're thinking, I hope he gets held up by some cars when I don't. You're just trying to look ahead and you're trying to judge it. As I said earlier, when you're in a GT3 car, you do not want to catch a GT4 car in the middle of a fast corner or in a fast sequence of corners. You're trying to time it. Even if you have to back off a little bit, you back off the back of the car and get a run on the car so that you lose maybe 2 seconds instead of losing 4 or 5. You're just constantly making those calculations. And as I said before, I don't look at that as a negative. Traffic is a positive if you can use it well.
Yeah, which Richard will be hoping for a bit more of, although they're pretty much broken through the GT4 ranks. They're about to come up on Matt Cowley in the Ford Mustang, who of course is in 3rd place in GT4, so things might be a bit less frenetic. We're about to head, though, through one of the most iconic sequences of corners in world motorsport, really, out of Copse and down to Maggots and Beckett. So we're going to ride, we were riding on board with Richard Neary. We cut back instead to Andrew Howard, who works his way up the inside of Michael Ben-Yair's GT4 McLaren as he continues to try and chase down the Mercedes ahead of Ian Loggy. So this is Loggy 5th, Howard 6th, Tilbrook 7th, and there Kelvin Fletcher 8th. Kelvin Fletcher and Martin Plowman, about 18 months or so ago now, started their own motorsport team, Paddock Motorsport, and they have run cars in lower categories, in club championships pretty successfully here in the UK. That car, of course, was previously run by JRM, but for this weekend onwards, Paddock Motorsport, Kelvin and Martin's own team, have taken over the running. That's got to be hard work then, Marino. You're not only driving the car now, but you're running the entire team as well. Does that distract you, do you think, from the actual matter of driving?
I'm sure they've got a good team manager in place that takes that pressure away from you, but it's good. At least the team boss, if something goes wrong, isn't going to be giving you a hard time. I quite like the sound of that. It's an impressive job that these guys are doing, to be running as close to the front as they are already. It's very, very good to see. Here we have the car in the 70 car in the pits, getting the suspension. It was obviously a tie rod at the front, so there's a rod. Here we go. So are we going to get a check? Nah, we just see the end of it, unfortunately. We can't quite get to see how it started. We see the effect and not the cause. There's a tie rod, and basically that holds, we saw the wheel sticking out there, and there's a piece of suspension that holds it in place. That's obviously bent. The team, though, will have one preset, measured up, and it should, while it's going to take them out of contention, they should be back on track in 2 or 3 laps, I would expect.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing for them, though, is that they are a race-by-race entry, so ordinarily you'd say go out there, score some points, could help you in the championship in the long run, but they don't really care about points. They were here to try and win, and that was kind of it, really. So suspension damage, they were on the outside of the Mercedes, so whether the Mercedes ran wide, we're not too sure. Either way, it's clearly hurt the McLaren. Right, on board with Neary, we are now heading down to Maggots and Beckett, so talk us through this. From watching him on board, do you think the car's working well?
Car's working well, and he's nice and relaxed. That's what you can see. I've heard that about these Mercedes for the gentleman driver. It's very nice to drive. It works well for them, and you can see that. He's not tense, he's not big inputs into the steering wheel, just using his flash button, and not tense, he's not big inputs into the steering wheel, just using his flash button and trying to get the traffic out of the way, and he just looks like a man that's happy in his place of work there.
Yes, and he's got a run now on Petrobelli, who was delayed there through Chapel by some back markers. Neary is late on the brakes into Stowe.
Now you see there how he's offsetting himself, both on entry to the left and mid-corner on the right there, trying to find clean air, because that's downforce. When you're behind that car, you're getting dirty air and you feel the lack of grip.
Oh,
and he's got that move done. What a beauty. Beautiful move.
Right round the outside, just superior braking. Petrobelli tries this old cutback move again, but it doesn't work this time. That was seriously good overtaking there from Richard Neary. And look, they're not that far behind Adam Ballon, and that's for second place. So Richard Neary has brought that Team ABBA Racing Mercedes right into contention now for a podium result. He is into third, and he's only about 2 seconds now behind Adam Ballon. We've got 2 Mercedes now as well in these podium positions. It really does seem to be clicking here this weekend, that AMG.
You could see how hard Petrobelli was working at the wheel compared to Neary. Neary is just very smooth.
Now, that is our GT4 leader, Richard Williams, in the pits. Now, this, we presume, is their first mandatory driver change, so this should now be Senn and Fielding jumping on board.
Nothing going on here.
No, there isn't, although they have this. Remember, this is a Silver Cup entry, so they've got not only the minimum pit stop time, which is 165 seconds from pit in to pit out, including the stationary time.
There's my old mate, Richard, out of the car. Yep, thumbs up. Good job, mate.
Watching on then, as Senn and Fielding serves the extra 14 seconds they have to serve because they're a Silver Cup car. So it's not a rushed process, a pit stop in this race, which is for safety reasons, if nothing else, just to make sure. And of course, you can't refuel and change tyres at the same time. So sometimes it looks like nothing happening, but that's just because they're counting down the clock.
I do love that as a driver, those time ones where you can relax rather than it being like a fire drill.
Yes, because when there is no minimum time, drivers tend to get thrown in and out of cars. It's all a very unceremonious process. There is Hunter Abbott, though, who is putting on a real display here, isn't he? 11.8 seconds clear of Ballon.
Very impressive, both by him and the 2C's team, as we talked about earlier. This is their first race with the Mercedes, moving from the McLaren. The Bahrainian team is very, very impressive.
Out goes Senn and Fielding in the stellar performance Audi, so he's going to drop out just over a lap behind where he was, basically. I just noticed John Ferguson going into comps, so he's going to be behind the Toyota now, but a lap behind as well. All right, let's head down to the man that's just vacated the Audi, Richard Williams.
So Richard, you had your first stint there. That was a planned pit stop, we take it?
Absolutely, yeah. That's we went through various different options yesterday about how we might want to run our race, and that's the we're to plan at the moment. So absolutely on schedule. So very early on in the 3-hour race, but I'll be getting back in shortly and just seeing whether we can keep the car in one piece and keep the pace that we've got right now, and see if we can get it home.
It's a fairly early first change, though, isn't it?
Absolutely, but I mean, that's we've run all the various scenarios, and for us, this is the best way, the quickest way to run a 3-hour race. No problems, on schedule, and looking forward to getting back in.
Thanks very much, Richard.
No worries.
So early pit stop, it was part of the plan. They have come back out onto the track. We now
look at the mirror here. This is. That's not going to help him very much there.
Well, he's got a good excuse for turning in, sort of, if that were to happen like it did at Brands Hatch. But yeah, that is not ideal.
Camera's working at least.
That's true. They've got a really new camera, but that's a distraction, though, surely, coming out.
Yeah, that is a major distraction. They'll be getting to see his own face as well, at least. I think that's actually got a camera built into it as well, so it's the same system. It's not, there's obviously a firewall there, so you can't see out the back, so they have that camera, the 2
he doesn't want is for that to come off completely and either hit him, because it looks like quite a heavy bit of kit, or worse, get stuck under a pedal or something. I mean, we've heard of things like that happening before.
In the old days, before they had cameras in them, you just pull that off and stick it down the side of your seat, but I would be worried to pull that off and basically all the electronics to shut down because you've broken the circuit. They're going to have to do something about that in the pit stop, though, because I'm sure that the scrutineers will be looking at it and they will not be happy with that.
And is that something that the team will have seen now, and it might force them to change their strategy if they see they've got that issue? Although it's not slowing him down, do they maybe bring him in earlier than planned to get it sorted?
Possibly, or they just, if their strategy is to go further, they'll just push it until somebody tells them to do something. It depends what works best for them.
Right, well, things working pretty well for Century Motorsport now. Then they've inherited the GT4 lead. Will Burns here in the 57 BMW leads the category by only 11.6 seconds. So GT3 being led by 12.6 seconds by 2Cs, and Century leading GT4 by a very similar margin. Then Matt Howard second GT4 seconds ahead of Jordan Mullard. So given how tight it was in GT4 in the early stages, it has spread out a little bit now. These silver graded cars that filled out the top 5 places in GT4, that is a massive uphill struggle for them. These extra 14 seconds every single time a new driver steps into that car, they're going to have to hold it.
That's a big hole to dig out of, but hopefully it allows good competition at the end. When we get down to that last stint, we're all going to be trying to inhabit the same piece of track. That's how it should work.
Yes, that's the theory, and more often than not, that does seem to be exactly what happens. Across the line goes Ian Loggy there, 5th position for him now. Remember, ran as high as 2nd or 3rd, didn't he, earlier on? Calvin Fletcher is only 4 tenths behind Morgan Tilbrook, so Bentley versus McLaren. Where is the Bentley strong? Where does Tilbrook maybe have to think about defending?
Everywhere. You imagine seeing that in your mirrors. I mean, it's just so big. Well, it looks through the high-speed corners there that Bentley's just so stable. And we were talking about it earlier, the mid-engine car definitely has the advantage under braking. But at this stage in a stint, it just depends how the tyre life is and how the balance is. You have tools in the car, you have traction control, you can adjust the throttle map, you can adjust the TC levels, you can adjust several different things, ABS. And you're constantly working with those just to keep the car in a happy place. And you've got to be the guys who will be most consistent over a stint are the guys that are the people that are the best at adjusting those and staying ahead of it.
Really good stint this from Calvin Fletcher as well.
It really is, isn't it?
We know how quick he is. He was always known in GT4 when he was in the Aston Martin a couple of years ago for being really consistent, quick, but consistent, smooth, didn't make many mistakes. Had a couple of little issues at Brands Hatch, although it was actually Martin Plowman that made more mistakes at Brands Hatch. Calvin has really transitioned over to GT3 really well. Right, we'll break away from this for a second then. I believe Bryn down in the pit lane has a little bit of news about that number 15 Toyota of John Ferguson.
Yeah, that's right, Andy. I was just talking to Scott McKenna, who's getting ready to get in the car. They said they might have to go and have a pit stop if the scrutineers tell them they must do, or the stewards say they must come in. But Scott said he knows how distracting it is because it happened to him yesterday. So it is a problem they've had before.
Right, okay, so someone needs to find some stronger screws maybe to keep that thing in place for future rounds. Thank you, Bryn. Right, look at who has arrived on the scene. This is Leo Machitsky. Now remember, he had that spin on the opening lap whilst he was racing Morgan Tilbrook. He's almost caught back up to Tilbrook now, who is currently holding that 7th place. This has been a mighty recovery drive. We're only just past half an hour in.
And he's only 24 seconds back from the leader. So where could he be without that spin? Yeah. And there's a long way to go. And that Lamborghini looks like it's in a very good place. And this is a fantastic drive by him.
And of course, they haven't yet unleashed their secret weapon, Dennis Lind, who's not such a secret anymore. Everyone seems to be cottoning on to just how good Dennis Lind is. But let's not forget how strong Leo Machitsky has looked in this stint. It's all quite tight, this actually, isn't it? Look, Loggy 5th in the pink Mercedes, then Andrew Howard, the Aston Martin, is 6th, the McLaren of Morgan Tilbrook is 7th, the Bentley of Calvin Fletcher is 8th, the Lamborghini of Machitsky is 9th. There are people out there, Marino, who I talk to, and they still, for some reason, don't get GT racing, and they don't understand why I love it so much. But look at this, Mercedes, McLaren, Bentley, Lamborghini, Aston Martin, you cannot get better than this, and performance-wise, nothing to choose between them.
I mean, it's like your dream car garage, isn't it? It's just everything that you want to have there on your drive. And because of the performance balancing that we have, these cars are running so closely. It's such a good job that the SRO have managed to do to balance these cars. Of course, there's some tracks work better for you than others, but that's racing, and it is creating fabulous racing. We are a little bit of a snap there for Fletcher. He's obviously using the tyres to the maximum, and I can't help but notice that luminous yellow and green car in his mirror, and he can see it coming.
Yeah, Machitsky's caught them. Now he's got to try and pass them. But if you're Barwell here, are you tempted to bring that 63 car in? Because as quick as Machitsky's been, he's going to lose time trying to pass this lot, isn't he? Maybe if you stuck Dennis Lind in, got him out in some clear air, you could maybe get that undercut, couldn't you?
Possibly, but I think you're we've seen that the fastest car down the straight is the Bentley, so it's going to be difficult to pass it. But Barwell will be looking at whether it's better to try and get the car out in some clean air, as you say, or is getting more track position right now more important to them. But I do like that. I do like that theory of yours of getting the car in, getting some clean air and getting those fast laps in, and hopefully clearing them while being nowhere near them. So once you've done the pit stops, you've actually done the undercut and you've passed them already.
Yes, because then you can gain 4 positions potentially without ever having to go wheel to wheel with someone and risk a little knock or getting delayed, ending up on the grass. You know,
you may have a future in team management there. It's very good.
I do occasionally come out with a good idea, Marino, but it's not a regular thing. Ollie Milroy, by the way, is back in the race in that McLaren that Brendan Areve had the damage in. So great work by the squad.
And he's just done the fastest lap of the race.
He's also, though, got a 10-second stop go penalty for a pit lane infringement, but I don't think he's going to care about that too much, is he?
No, not when you're 6 laps back, unfortunately. But this is a 2 minute. I think he's half a second quicker than the leader. He's going to be so frustrated that he's not in the fight.
Yeah, because I think they could have been race-winning contenders. I know they were 10 seconds or so behind the leader, but over a 3-hour race, that's not an insurmountable deficit. It is such a shame that they had that early tangle with the GT4 Mercedes, and there is confirmation of that stop-go penalty for Ollie Milroy. So he set the fastest lap because he's the first of the GT3 pros to jump in, so you would expect that, but nonetheless, really good pace being shown. Right, Machitsky is up the inside of Kelvin Fletcher. There's almost contact. This is the thing, you see. Yes, he's gained the place, but that was a risk. That could have very easily gone wrong.
You could see that Fletcher was struggling on the tyres there. He was offline through that whole sequence of corners, and that allowed Machitsky to line him up and to make that move. Yeah, he was right on the limit there. Managed to clear him without any contact, so that's another place made. This is a really impressive run that he's on.
Yes, so that puts Machitsky 8th. Next target, Morgan Tilbrook in the Enduro Motorsport car. Morgan Tilbrook only started racing, period, a year or so ago. He had never sat in a racing car until I think the start of the 2020 season. And here, or 2019 season it might have been, and here he is now in British GT, his first ever race stint, remember, because he never got a racing lap in at Brands Hatch, and he's running in 7th place. He's got multiple champion Andrew Howard ahead of him. He's got the rapid Leo Machitsky arriving on his tail. That's going to be a battle worth watching. So too is this, though. Richard Neary on the tail now of Adam Ballon for 2nd place. So Adam Ballon in the Lamborghini hanging on, but for how much longer?
That Mercedes is so beautifully balanced. Look at his inputs, how smooth they are. He's not having to fight the car at all. And at this stage in a stint, that is fantastic because the tyres have had a seriously hard time. And he's just closing in. There seems an inevitability about this.
Yeah, there does really, doesn't there? Richard, of course, shares this car with his son, Sam Neary, Super Sam, as I've dubbed him, because he too is very inexperienced at racing. Sam Neary only started racing in 2019, so similar to Morgan Tilbrook actually, came straight into GT racing with his father in this Mercedes, racing in Britcar and a couple of other championships, made the move up into British GT last year and was instantly on the same sort of pace as the Yelmer Bourbons of the world. Sam Neary, who will jump in this car relatively shortly, you'd imagine, could well jump into the 2nd place car if his dad gets a move on here, because he's right on the tail of Ballon. But of course now he's got stuck, and so Petrobelli is starting to get back towards them. So that, when you're in Richard Neary's situation here, Marino, and you've been stuck behind Ballon for a while, you did have a bit of breathing room over Petrobelli, but that gap is shrinking. The frustration just starts to build, and that's when sometimes you go for a move that